No, it reconnected.
Yeah.
I just gotta wait for everybody to get back in, so just give it another couple of minutes. When you guys reconnect, pop a message if you can.
Do you understand that they weren't connected to hear that, right? Oh, wow. I had one team pull out of the NCAA tournament because of COVID.
As soon as I got the notification that the stream had lost connection, I stopped running the RP.
Just putting that little can right there.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to talk about it.
No, I meant tell Jeff.
Anybody else want to drink?
I am not evil. Yes, I do. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Oh, fucking Balin's being a dick. Hurt my feelings like that. You just said, sorry, I can't see you or hear you, you know, see no evil, etc. I'm not evil.
He's diabolical.
There is a difference.
I didn't say there wasn't. Just saying. If you're diabolical, then it doesn't necessarily make you evil, right?
No, I'm not sick. I'm twisted. Sick implies there's a cure.
Fingers in a cup.
I didn't say I wasn't a madman. I just said I'm not evil.
Inconceivable.
He keeps using that word. I don't think it means what he thinks it means. Almost got you. I almost got you. I'd have been very upset though, because I would have.
Ryan before I...
No, that would require flexibility, and flexible I am not.
If you go by the informal British definition of diabolical, then you can be diabolical and not evil.
Okay, let's go back to reality. Back to Star Wars.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
We're not talking about word definitions.
Alright, I was just making sure I got the viewers back in. Alright.
Get twisted as your pain. So are the days of our lives.
As the galaxy spins.
Oh, I need to take some painkillers before we can
So you
You
took
alright?
some paint thinners?
Painkillers.
Yeah, pain thinners.
My allergy medicine is starting to wear off.
That's like I said, paint thinners. It's like, whoa.
I think they'll do the same thing.
He
as
still
the
got.
painkillers
He
will.
still looks kind of like a rock.
Well, when he
So
said,
seeping into
he
his
said I'm
pores.
going to start taking some paint thinners, it's like, he's not human.
That truth was discovered a long time ago. Way back in ancient history.
He's a freaking droid.
He's one of the original
I want
golems.
to burp like thunder to shoot the fire.
Bite my shiny metal ass. Alright. So. There is something inside the temple that I must acquire.
What?
A holocron.
Of?
Sith knowledge.
Is this because of the Sith that currently resides in your head?
No, this is something I've been looking for since I was a knight.
Insight.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty, it's kind of dumb.
17.
Less. Probably.
Oh, pardon me, 18 because it's a wisdom.
Okay, yeah, absolutely less. 15.
15. He's telling the truth.
Okay.
This is something that he's been searching for way more than 10 years.
That was your original reason for when we ran into you on Dantooine?
I thought he was after the map. Player speaks.
Huh?
As a player, I thought Chris was after the map when he was here the first time.
I don't remember it now.
The Tythonian map that shows all the planets that don't exist on the regular star charts, like Aline,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exegol, and
No, that
Other
is one
fun
of the
places.
things that he was after. But he didn't want to tell y'all the other thing he was after.
oh, okay.
You know,
So there's Sith knowledge in that room we were never able to get into.
there is. There's Jedi knowledge there too. There's knowledge from before the Jedi Order in there. My master, along with several council members, thought that there was something going on behind the scenes before the fall. And we all started trying to collect relics, things that would give us information, things that would help us see through whatever was clouding the force. Dantooine was one of the temples that housed some of the ancient knowledge. I couldn't get into the temple initially. It took me a while to get in there, and when I did get in there, I didn't have time to search. Other things came up.
Well, yeah, we're gonna steal your ship.
Well, more than that. I'd been to the Dantooine Temple several times before I ran into you.
I see.
I let my displeasure for my position in life control more of what I was doing than I should have at the time. So I put other things as a priority. I wanted the map out of the temple because it would open up new avenues of research for me. Access the planets that haven't been accessed in years. Belsavis. Tython. Information on temples that are still scattered throughout the galaxy that no one has touched or seen in thousands of years. Information on lost fleets. But after my discussion with you, Kaya, about having to make a stand to change can't let my master's work go unfinished. There is information in that temple that I must get. There is information there that is secret even to the current Jedi Order. Things that the Masters probably never even thought about in 100 years, 200 years. Things that probably only Master Yoda ever knew. Because he was around for some of it. And I will not hoard the knowledge. Anything I find, I will entrust to you. I will not keep that from you. It is not my place to tell you you cannot learn something. It is not my place to tell you that this information is bad because it causes great harm. To know how to deal with certain things, you have to know where it comes from. You have to know what it does, why it does it. And I'm hoping that one of the holocrons in that room has the information I'm looking for.
Is it still?
No, it's still streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, no ominous dings going around.
No, that was Emi. The whole hiccup with the stream was on Twitch's end because I completely lost connection here. So that's why I have to go into the temple. The other reason I want to be in the temple is I want to be there when you build your sabers. When you take that step. It's not right for Padawans to make that step alone.
Kai's gonna stand up. Alright. Let's get this done.
2.3 days out.
Thank you, Box.
Oh, Bond. That was Bond over the intercom. She was listening the whole time.
Chris, do you ever turn the intercom off in your room?
She has the master control.
You know, one day I'm gonna ask about the history. Not today. I have other things to concentrate on.
That woman scares me. Please do not ask questions I don't think I'm prepared to answer.
I'm just gonna ask you. Ask her.
Please don't insinuate answers that I'm going to suffer repercussions for. No, it's fine.
Stick down my hand to him.
He takes it.
Pull him to his. Come on, old man.
I don't want to hear it. Not from you.
There is two things, though. First of all, we've got a poor woman in prison down in sick bay. I think Gatal needs to have a good
Any reports from HK67 from her? I got one of the HKs on her.
No, she's
We
still.
also have her strapped down to
Yeah,
the bed.
she's just kind of laying there.
Okay.
I don't know that anybody's been and talked to her.
I mean,
maybe Kaz has.
She's a monk. I assume she can do some amount.
She
of
has an
sleight of
elevated
hand.
heart rate. She's in an unfamiliar environment with an assassin droid staring at her. She has an elevated heart rate.
Please remain calm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Remain calm!
And she's being restrained by a Corsac officer. I'm pretty sure she probably has warrants out.
I'm wanted in 12 systems.
Well, none of them are Corellia, so at least there's that.
So,
The other issue is Oz.
what about him?
He's going to want to go with us, which I have no problem with. But the fact that somebody who has not been trained in the Force is gifted enough to craft a lightsaber is pretty remarkable.
It is.
Have you felt any stirrings of the Force?
Around him, but not in him.
So are we going to? I feel we do have the right to keep him here against his will.
You mean as in...
He's going to want to go to the temple with us. I think Kez has every right to come if he wishes also. Though the Force he's been very mundane as far as the Force. Remarkable shot though.
Man can kill some teenagers.
He also killed that Inquisitor pretty well.
Strong ally.
Yeah, we're going to need him.
And a lot more of them. I do not know what the next day will hold.
Jonas, what is...
Would you stop using my middle name,
What
please?
is your end goal?
Huh. That's a hard question to answer.
Come on, no one's loyal to the Empire here.
Insight check.
My fingers aren't crossed at all.
Boy, I sense
He
more dark.
rolls a 1.
You've heard of Sith Inquisitors. Welcome to the Jedi Inquisition.
Everyone expected it though, but it still worked.
He rolls a 1 and the ship has a bad day.
That's a hard question to answer. If you would have asked me that a year ago,
I did.
I don't think it was that long.
I would have lied to you.
What would you have said? Curious.
To get away from it all.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have said that a couple months ago. What's your answer now? It's difficult, but what's your answer?
I don't know.
I prefer your other answer.
I don't know what my end goal is anymore.
Are you trying to gain enough knowledge to rebuild the Order?
I
It sounds
can't-
like you want to build a new Order.
I cannot rebuild the Order. One, there is far too few of us.
Oh, so when the order originated, there were thousands of members?
Oh, there were hundreds. You have to remember, when the Jedi Order was... Well, you don't know this.
No, I was not around over 10 million
No,
years
but
ago.
it would have been a part of your studies at the temple as a Padawan. When the Jedi Order was founded, it was founded by a group of other Force users known as the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And there were thousands of them. So yes, when the Jedi Order was founded, it was founded by thousands.
Alright, you get to work on the thousands part of it.
I've heard this before. Deja vu. No, it is more complicated than that. The order failed for a reason. And
Yes, I remember asking a holocron a question of how the training changed from when it was okay, when it was working, to when it failed and never got an answer.
because nobody knows where it started to fail. Everybody can tell you why it failed. But nobody knows when it started to fail. Thousands of years ago, there were wars fought between groups of Force users. There were wars fought between the Jedi and the Mandalorians. There were wars fought between the Jedi and the Jedi.
Cocks his grenade launcher as he gets more and more ready.
Why did you even bring that in here?
There are weapons everywhere I go.
Didn't you read the sign out the door when you bring it?
This is a gun-free zone.
You will not need your weapons in here.
Doesn't leave everything outside of you. Flamethrower.
Ask me what my goal was 5 years ago, and I would have told you to hunt down the one who betrayed us and kill him.
Who betrayed us? Who betrayed you? I'm not gonna say, well, who betrayed y'all? I mean, you were a knight, she was actually a Padawan. We were younglings, we don't really count in that matter. From what you say, we were younglings. I don't really remember those days.
You were young. I'm sure I could dig up some hollow vid of your scrawny little tail running around one of the temples.
I'm sure you could find that of a Nautilus from a couple thousand years ago, but...
Whew! Slid that one right in there.
So who did it?
One of the greatest among us.
The Emperor.
No.
His daughter, who we have, by the way.
That's not his daughter.
Insight check.
Go for it. Anakin Skywalker betrayed the order.
Alright, who's that?
He was the greatest of us.
Is that what Kanan said?
I think that guy owed me money.
Is that what Kanan said?
I think so.
He's the greatest.
He was. He was
And
the
then
greatest starfighter pilot. He was the greatest duelist who wasn't a master. The number of battles he and Obi-Wan won were uncounted.
With the odds stacked against them.
Wait, who's Obi-Wan one?
Obi-Wan Kenobi
Oh.
was Anakin's partner.
And Master.
Obi-Wan.
And
Is he alive?
Whatever happened?
Yeah, is he alive?
Nobody knows.
What
Most
about
likely.
What about that Yoda guy you were talking about?
no, he was on course when the temple fell. Nobody got out of there.
I wouldn't say nobody.
Were you in the temple?
Yes.
Yeah, so one person got out.
Very.
Out of character. I don't remember Chris ever mentioning that before.
No, he hasn't.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember him saying. I don't remember where he said he was.
No, he never
I
told you
didn't
where
ask
he
you.
was.
There were other issues at that point.
Mm-hmm. I was in the library when the attacks came.
Also out of character. Did we have the discussion about Vader? Is that a known fact amongst the group, or
Between you and Chris, it is.
okay? I couldn't
Because
remember.
Chris
if
told you, because so out of character, GM to players. The two of you do not know that Kaya's character actually fought in the war. The speculation in the statements that she was a Padawan during the fall. I mean, technically speaking, the two of you were Padawans at the fall of the Order. You would literally just become Padawans. The idea was that the idea that was presented, that has been presented by Chris and with the support of Kaya's actions, is that Kaya was a fresh Padawan. She was only a Padawan for a short while before the fall happened. So that puts her right around the same age as you guys, maybe a few years older. The truth is, far from that. She was borderline knight, right?
Well, the term Padawan was given. Apprentice became a Padawan when a master took them.
Right.
They would have been apprentices because they didn't.
Well, no, a master was assigned to them the day the order hit.
Okay.
So they had literally just become Padawan learners.
Okay. Hold on. We need. Hold on. That I need to get something straight in my head. How old are your characters?
18.
Minus 10 years. He's an 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm roughly the same age.
Okay.
I don't think I really feel that to
The Jedi Order had started accelerating because of the losses in the war.
Okay. 'Cause
They started trying to bring younglings into Padawan status to get them used to the war.
okay.
And it just so happened that the day that they were given a master at Jeddah
Yeah.
was the day Order 66 happened. So they were looking to make them Padawans, send them to a far section of the galaxy to start their training, and then slowly bring them into the war. So the difference is, you had been a Padawan for years
Yeah.
beforehand.
Well,
Just
it
like
wasn't
I
an
had
accelerated
been-
program at that
Right. Just like my character had been a knight for only a few years.
point. Okay.
You know, like I had finished my training under Jocasta Nu, but I was still assigned to the archives.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Settled. We got the age thing settled.
Okay.
That's fine. It all works out.
So, but that's the idea that's presented, is that you guys think Kaya is only just a few years older than you,
Yeah.
when in reality she is
Nearly-
much older than
Nearly
you.
like half a decade older than us, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
over
was,
like half a decade.
well, y'all were 8. I was 16. So.
Yeah.
You know, so she'd already been fighting in the war. You know, so that's kind of the thing that's presented here. So Chris knowing that, because Chris working in the archives, the information of who becomes gets transitioned from learner to Padawan,
Yeah.
or from youngling to Padawan to knight, goes into the records. Because every Padawan has to have a master, so that it has to be recorded which Padawans are being trained by which masters, and then the time that they stop learning under the master and become a knight has to be recorded, so they can tell when, so they can keep track of the accolades and achievements that they go through in order to achieve their
Because
masters.
archivists need something to do.
Yeah. Besides stare at fucking volumes and volumes.
And what other archivists figured out how to do
And tell
Wait,
Jedi
the
Masters
question-
that it's
the
not in the
question was
records,
Darth
it doesn't
Vader.
exist.
Huh?
The question was the identity of Darth Vader.
Right.
Yeah,
So
do you know
that
who
was-
it is? Oh, wait, question. What is Vader considered within the Imperial network?
A Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord. He's not any rank.
Most of the Imperial military would not, if you said Vader was a Sith Lord, they say, oh yeah, Lord Vader, they would not have clue on what
What Sith mean? Yeah, what a
There
Sith
may be
Lord.
maybe a handful of people
He would be
who actually
considered like
know
a
what a
high
Sith.
lord, like
He is
politician.
Lord Vader. He's the Emperor's right hand man. The Emperor's hatchet man is what most people consider him.
Right.
Okay.
His executioner.
I mean, because there are other people in the Empire that have the title Lord also,
Yeah.
but they're not.
But is he
They're not
but he's
numbers.
considered a military leader.
He's the Emperor's right hand. He can command admiral. He can command admirals. He can command moffs. He can command a civic league
Yeah.
if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He has basically the same level of authority as the Emperor.
Yeah.
For most people, I mean, the
The
Emperor
only-
obviously commands him. But
Right.
Yeah.
The only orders that he cannot overrule are the Emperor's orders. So,
who's going to question Vader? What Vader says, anyways.
right.
He could say the Emperor told me to do this and lie, and nobody would
Bad
question
line.
it.
Yeah.
I had a question for Chris, but I can't remember what it was.
I'm sorry.
It had to pertain towards Vader, but I can't
Yeah,
remember.
you'll
Yeah.
probably remember in a moment.
Maybe. Don't say probably with me.
So, few months back, game wise, not game time, but like few months
Yeah.
back, Chris and Kaya had the conversation because you had discovered the
Reading the history.
no, you discovered the Order 66
Oh, that's
thing,
right.
the hollow communication that issued the order
Yeah.
out, and then you had asked what happened, what caused it, and Chris showed you
Yeah.
the footage of Anakin cutting down the young ones.
Yeah.
He pulled the
Yeah.
footage
That's
up.
what caused me to go off and read
Mhm.
the history,
Right,
everything I could on the history of the Empire.
right. So you and Chris have had that conversation because Chris knows that you know who Anakin Skywalker is. They do not, you know.
No, and,
Okay, I remember my question.
and this is. Kaya's not going to answer that question.
What?
Alright, so somebody asked a question about where is Anakin or something.
No, not where is Anakin.
Okay.
You asked who betrayed the order.
Yeah, who betrayed the order?
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, who is Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah, who is Anakin?
You,
Yeah.
Kaya stated he was the greatest among us.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had asked the question, what made him the greatest?
I don't think I asked that.
Or was he really the greatest? Or something like that. And that's where he was, that's when Kaya was like, he was the greatest fighter pilot. He was the...
So was he in the temple the night everything fell apart? Because you were there apparently.
Oh, God.
Are you Anakin Skywalker?
Chris takes a deep breath when you ask if Anakin was in the temple that night. The night of the fall, he takes a very deep breath and lets it out. Yes, he was.
So you know what he looks like.
I could show you an image of him.
So we could go hunt him down.
Nobody's seen him. There are speculations of who he is, but nothing to confirm it. Most of the speculation as to who he is just the timeline of events that took place. Anakin Skywalker dropping off the radar and a certain someone rising to power.
So he betrayed the order, and then I guess the Emperor killed him?
There were rumors that there was a fight between Anakin and another powerful Jedi.
Yoda. You mean Yoda?
No.
Well, if Anakin was the greatest, from what both of you say, there's no way he could have lost. So he's got to be alive.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure of that.
I'm sure he had the high ground at the end of the fight.
Do not bring that show into this damn
What show?
RP. The Mandalorian.
I thought you liked the Mandalorian.
Amy just made the statement that Chris saved Grogu from the temple.
Yeah, okay, I'm agreeing with you now.
So.
Let's finish charging.
No, that's fine.
Let's put this up.
What other questions?
I got nothing.
Gatal?
When do we start?
Kai?
There are, if we need to learn anything else, I'm sure there are holovids out there.
Let's go make history.
Okay.
Fucking camera pans, fucking that fucking that like Microsoft slideshow fucking pan that Star Wars always has, and he just goes to fucking Bond moving us into Dantooine.
2 days just disappears.
Alright.
Okay, hurry up before Guitar falls asleep.
Alright. So,
Bosnia fucking.
for all
stars
intents
against
and
the both of
purposes,
you.
we'll say that Kez and Oz join you for the expedition, but we're only going to be using your models for what goes on. Okay?
Yeah, I want to go back to that bar that we all met at.
As Sherpas.
Say what?
We could all go back to that bar that we sat at.
How about we don't go back
What
to a
bar?
place that where we attracted
was after
girls
the
and
alley
actually
fight
go
when
straight
you,
to the temple, since we have a ship this time.
After you had threatened the woman you bribed. We after that we went to a bar.
recall such an incident.
I do. And we went to a bar after that. We never
Alright.
ordered a drink.
So, you guys arrive on Dantooine.
Have I threatened you before?
Is there a droid still sitting right here?
Remember, I carried it out of the temple.
Oh god, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I
You
just
left
didn't have
it-
time to pick it up.
Right,
Problem was there was a bunch of stormtroopers all around.
right.
It was still sitting there when we left. I'm gonna get there and pick it up again.
Holy hell, he's picking up a
You
figure.
can't do.
Oh man.
That would be tall and your old jokes between us.
He's grabbing a figure. The droid is still there.
I've got vines growing on.
Vines
It hasn't been that damn long.
Toss it.
So it's not like 50%.
It could have been an invasive species of bush.
Invasive species of bush.
Alright, I'm not gonna have you go through the ruined area
Yeah.
again.
Everybody remember, or get tall, open the door again.
Everybody roll initiative.
It wasn't Gatal that opened the door.
Last time the door wouldn't like fucking.
I'm pretty sure I was the Dantooine door opener. It's kind of wrestling me.
The DDO, huh?
Yeah. Hey! Hey! You remember that?
Does it look like it's been moved? Or...
It looks like it's just been laying there the whole time.
We'll remember it to get it on the
This
way out
time.
this time.
So you guys approach the stone.
Is Chris gone before us, or is he falling behind, or...
Oh, well.
What
Or
do
you
we got?
don't need to put the figurine on the map.
Giant figure holding it. What do we got?
It's being ambushed.
Who the heck are those people? Kill them. Kill them all. Oh,
Yeah.
Chris
And
died.
another one bites the dust.
At least you dropped
This-
one of the old models.
Yeah.
One of the new ones.
this time Chris fell.
Alright,
like, even
Move
further.
Chris to the front.
Flying V.
So everybody approaches. You're staring at that large stone doorway, and Chris, what?
We could just come into the hole in the wall the Empire made.
There is a good point about not particularly coming in that way, but about flying over the temple and make sure there wasn't like a gun nest. The forest wasn't crawling with AT-ATs.
Right.
Hey, we did that simple flyover right, just to make sure that.
I don't know. Did
We
you?
didn't do any reconnaissance?
Our reconnaissance?
Reconnaissance.
All right.
Reconnaissance.
So no, there is no Imperial presence in the area as of right now.
Okay.
So, and no, that area is closed.
Okay.
Remember grenades?
Well, I seem to remember the grenades because I was in the room when you threw them.
And grenades got tossed into there while Kaya was in there, and it sealed the tunnel back up.
Wasn't me, I didn't have grenades on.
So the party approaches the doorway.
You opened it before.
What force powers do you have?
Not door opening.
Gotcha.
It's a 9 force check to open the door. I hex the door.
No.
Chris holds his hand out, and then just does this, and the door just. Shall we? Everybody roll initiative. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna take that one.
That was Vaughn.
Oh.
There's four.
All right. So you enter the grand temple entrance again, and you see the blaster scoring all over the place from the last firefight.
The dead body's still here?
No, they removed their fallen. Chunks of armor are still laying about, pieces of the armor that got blasted off in the fight and things of that nature. But you still see the two statues and the fountain, the dried fountain in the middle.
We'll walk on past.
Okay.
It's now we go down to taking Chris to the holotron room so that he can
Okay.
do what he needs to do.
All right. So
I don't remember there being anything else on the first floor, right?
entrance to the kitchens and then a collapsed hallway
Yeah.
that led up into the temple.
I want to make a detour to the kitchen.
Okay.
Are there any books in here?
Books.
Books. Or data pads, or a cooking holocron?
God damn it.
A recipe, a recipe from, or
Reciprone?
what would you call it?
80 million ways to make a nerf start.
80 ways to cook Ewok. What the? Oh, wow.
80 ways to make droids out.
No, there is.
How to build a lightsaber for dummies? What?
How to build a cooking a light whisk. You gotta move it through the eggs fast so they whip, but don't cook it.
No, there's nothing in the kitchen.
Oh, no light cooking pan.
Yo, I'd use that just as a weapon.
Non-stick light spray.
I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to have a frying pan lightsaber. Beat somebody with it and you can cook with it.
Okay.
I thought maybe there'd be a recipe in there to help Boz with his hunger. Turns out the papyrus flower.
that's not one of the uses for the black bars?
No, there's another flower in
Before
Red Harvest
leading you on,
does.
Chris does walk around the area and look at the two statues and the fountain, and looks through some of the rooms. He really didn't have time to do any exploring. And he remarks on a couple of things. Something about the hyperspace wars. What?
No, I was looking up something completely unrelated
Oh.
to the current discussion. So continue, I am listening.
He just remarks on a couple things about the statues and the fountain itself, making mention that the fountain,
She's laughing at your phone.
that the fountain is a war memorial. It's the looking closer at the mosaic at the bottom of the fountain, it depicts a memorial to the hyperspace wars.
Hmm.
And so the temple has been around for
It's a long time ago.
a very long time. And he also points out to you, because you had asked the question about the start of the Jedi Order, he points out that the two statues that stand here are two of the founders of the Jedi Order. Tears Sendon and Rajavari.
How long ago was that?
Kali Day.
18,000 years ago? Jedi Order?
Probably. It was about 10,000 years before the Old Republic, which was 3,000 years.
So about 13, 14,000
yeah.
years ago. A long time ago. In a galaxy right next door. Did you guys search the areas thoroughly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
pretty
good
thoroughly.
looking for junk.
Yeah.
We were pretty loot hungry in those days.
Yeah, when we
Not
first
really
came,
any different now. But
when we first came into the temple, we're like, is there any like Jedi artifacts? We were
yeah,
looking
we
through.
scoured this
Yeah.
place. We didn't go to. I remember we didn't go to the kitchen because it wasn't a concern of us.
Right.
Yeah, we did kind of make sure we scoured this place because we were trying to, at the time, find like.
Anything we could.
We were trying to find lightsabers
Yeah.
or holocrons or lightsabers.
Definitely.
Move Chris over to that phone.
Lightsabers or holocrons or lightsabers
Or holocrons. Or datacrons. A working fountain.
Is he expecting us to come with him?
No, he kind of shouts out, did any of you try to get this thing working?
What is it?
I don't remember what it was.
It's an old holo terminal.
I want to say we tried. We may not have spent much time on it, and none of us had any technical skills.
We were in a little bit of a hurry.
It's
I
true.
Understand that feeling?
We didn't have like two technical guys with us like we do now, though.
Oh, right.
I'll take a technology crack at it.
I mean, I've got high tech.
You know what? Okay then. Fine. You do it.
How high is yours?
7.
I mean,
Then you do it.
what can you got it?
No, I believe in you.
Somebody making the roll or no?
I'll just go.
Why don't you
I'll
assist
assist him.
Okay, roll advantage.
We can work together.
I mean, can we though?
Well, probably not.
Gives me what was that? A 9 on that one. So 17.
17?
The best he gets is
So
a
you
9.
actually start fiddling with
Well,
some of the
7,
stuff,
yeah.
and you pop open one of the panels, and you notice there's a few of the wires hanging loose. And so messing around with that, you figure out through trial and error where to connect them.
Put the blue one here and the red
They're not crossing. What's the point?
and
Don't
it
touch-
sparks,
Graham, David Graham.
and the hollow terminal cuts on.
You okay?
All right, sonar. And the hollow terminal actually cuts on. Unfortunately, all the data processing is just, it's too damaged. It doesn't really give anything out. But if anybody is in the room, when the terminal lights up, is there anybody in the room besides Gatal
Well, I was assisting him.
and Bosnia?
I'd have been standing around the door.
Okay.
So just
Give me perception checks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, what is this within visual?
Yeah.
Okay.
19.
12 on the die plus 6, 18.
23.
18.
So with your 23, you catch a glint of metal in the far corner of the room.
Piece of cake.
Check it out.
Give me an investigation check.
So 16.
Jesus Christ.
That is a
Came in tonight to crush the
21.
adventure.
Wow, that was the fucking DC. So you go over to the corner and you start brushing away at some of the dirt, and first thing your hand hits is a chunk of metal, and you find about 200 credits worth of scrap metal. Old scrap metal.
It's not falling apart in my hands, is it?
No,
So you said 200 credits worth?
Yep. And you also happen to find what looks to be lightsaber parts.
You said 200 credits worth of scrap.
And some lightsaber parts.
And lightsaber. Light has a H.
Yes, it does.
This is why it's not safe for me to write stuff as well.
I didn't play enough Zelda to know what the music was.
Da-na-na-na.
Oh God! Stop, all of you.
Da-na-na-na-na.
That's the newer one.
So,
That's Ocarina of Time.
go ahead and move Chris out of that
But
room.
The newer Breath of the Wild was just.
Really?
Yeah.
That's lame.
So, as you guys
Final
continue
Fantasy.
to press
Yeah,
into
Final Fantasy
the
is what I was doing.
temple,
Final Fantasy doesn't change ever.
the
And
fuck
then you
was
got
that?
Prompto going.
I think you just looked at something
I
further
think-
for a second.
Maybe some of the stuff slid.
I don't think anything fell over.
Okay.
Gotta go fast.
They've extended the Final Fantasy.
Set that
to-
over there. No, this
they
is-
haven't changed
is this
it.
the right
really.
one?
They haven't released. I have to put it on
Alright,
PC,
hold that.
so they haven't
Is there a
released it.
room name written down on this map?
Knight's Chambers.
So
It's a night. It's a Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight's Tale. What?
So,
What? Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You know who would have made a great
as you
Darth
guys
Vader?
are,
Oh, this guy didn't follow us down.
Made a good one.
Joker.
Heath Ledger would have made a great Darth Vader. Luke, you know how I got these scars? Your Uncle Obi-Wan is a piece of shit.
That's my father. I never knew my father.
you want to see a force string?
My mother was a slave.
She put these lightsaber crystals in her mouth.
Um,
Oh, boss.
Yes, we're- back to Star
Back to
Wars.
the future.
so as you guys are descending the stairs, Chris speaks up and goes, "Consider this another lesson for you guys. Just because you've been somewhere before doesn't mean there are no longer things to find. Now, that doesn't mean, go and scour every planet you've ever been on to see if you can find more stuff, but if you ever get the feeling that you may have left something unnoticed, maybe it might be worth a
Oh,
second
we
look."
definitely did. That's why I probably sent that
Do I remember which room I got my
ball in a hole in that wall.
Intelligence check.
Yeah, the Malachi Road.
Well, you know, once we
Intelligence
started the
check.
story, we have the ship. Now that we can go where we want,
We're getting
Fucking hell, man.
we can
Jesus
finally get
Christ.
something serious. We can finally jump up
But
that.
what does that all add to, you ask?
You said intelligence?
Yeah,
That's a 22.
right there.
I go back to that room.
Okay.
What did you find in that room?
This is where
That's
I found
where
my
he found
plus
his
1 to
robes.
AC robes.
Oh,
So,
I'm not sure we searched all those rooms.
Yeah, I'm coming back here. It's like, I know this one's clear. I'm gonna check all the rest.
Alright, you need an investigation check.
anyone assisting me?
I'm not proficient in investigation.
I don't even know what my investigation is.
I assume he is.
Is anyone
I
assisting
got a
me?
5. I'm not a proficient in it.
I mean, I'm not either. So can I get advantage from someone?
Come with you. I
Alright.
can-
That's what I was looking
We
for.
only have a score of 2. It just doesn't seem
You only
like
got a 2?
It's just my base intelligence.
Well, that's fine. I got
Alright, so
a
that's a
5.
17
Then you got to be
investigation.
proficient. How else? Oh,
You don't find anything new.
My intelligence for
Oh, your intelligence is a 5.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Who has? Oh, you know what? I know who has it.
Oh, Kez is like super investigation.
Yeah, cause
That's his job.
I found something weird.
What's up?
You know, you're creepy when you do that.
Oh, sorry.
You just show up over somebody's shoulder like,
What's up? Just don't do that,
Just tickle
please.
the back of your neck a little bit.
Slap it. Get away from me.
Get that off of me.
Hark flies in here. That's you, Will.
And he kicks the little meditation cabinet.
Oh, that's why.
That's it. Yeah, natural 20. Fucking. And a little drawer pops open. And again, there's more lightsaber components inside.
Say
we see him like collecting this stuff, right?
times 2.
Well, I don't know, do you?
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yes.
You want to roll for it?
No, I'm just declaring.
Roll for it.
We're gonna go back and he's gonna have like 30 different lightsabers.
That's 26 stealth.
Well, if he comes to you like you have 24 pockets in your thing, yeah. All right, open them up. You're using all 24 of your pockets on your Mandalorian armor. Although you probably use most of them. How many thermal detectors do you have?
I mean, I got like a thing of them, like a belt or a satchel or some shit. I mean, I don't even know.
Alright,
I,
do you search the rest of the rooms or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all there is to find.
I know I got a
What was in
bunch
this
of-
room? I don't remember.
Huh? You guys found a y'all found a data pad that y'all never opened.
Is it still there?
Oh, it's in y'all's possession, but y'all
Yeah.
never looked
I
at
feel
it.
like we've opened up every data pad before.
No, because I remember you asking me, I've got this data pad that we found on Dantooine, but I never looked at it. Is it do I need to keep it?
'Cause I've got
That was a data crop. Because I made a specific, because I talked to you about it when I was cleaning up my character sheet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim.
Hmm.
Pointed at the wrong room. The back chamber that he's in is where you found those robes.
Ah,
The back chamber he's talking about is where you found those robes.
Child blade bastard.
And you found blueprints for something that you didn't understand because it was written in.
well, I know Tithonian now. Are the blueprints still there? Or did we collect those?
You collected the blueprints. I don't know what y'all did with them.
I did bring the keys with me, but there was a square holocron
Yeah,
that we
got
found at the
end of the temple. Right.
I had no record, unless one of them was carrying it. The only record of a data pad I have from Tython
Was the
is a
Tithonian?
Tythonian map.
Which is currently in my
No,
possession.
no, because he found the language translator. He found the map.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that. I have the Titanium data pad because that was
Yeah.
the last one I studied.
Yeah, I still have the data pad with the map.
Okay.
I mean,
Well then,
I've
I guess
offered
y'all
it,
never found the blueprints then. So
Then, well,
Well, we know that
you
they're
do
there
now. Yeah, that's fine.
so we have a data.
You guys were supposed to automatically find them, and since nobody wrote them down, we'll just say that
Alright,
going
well,
back into that room, just looking over it again, you catch the glimpse of something.
Data pad with lightsaber blueprints.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming now we have more than enough parts to make your 2 lightsabers, possibly yours.
Well, we don't have the forge.
Oh yeah, well, we need the forge, but we have the parts necessary now.
Well, we have to see what we have to identify the parts here. Let's keep exploring
Yeah.
until we get to the forge or
Okay.
some other place we need to stop and we can identify stuff. Because I think Oz has the identify.
I have telemetry as well.
Okay.
Ah.
Analyze.
Analyze isn't identify, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Is that just like the tech version?
It's the
of it?
tech version of identify.
So we can must have it.
I was in gunfire.
Building on fire.
It sounded
No.
like a firework.
Yeah. It was just loud. That's all.
I heard it and I thought it was initially gunfire, but I've heard them those go off 20 times in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
The gunfire I heard going off
Okay.
sporadic.
So you
On
guys
the
move
other side.
forward.
Enforcement.
You guys move forward to the next floor.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. Chris doesn't need anything
Do
to.
really look
Nope.
for everything, go to each floor.
Yeah. Okay. So let's shift maps. What?
Are we strong enough to bring the remains of that droid with us?
The
The
big,
big
one?
one.
I was thinking about taking parts from it too.
Oh.
Craft the lightsaber out of that.
That's not
I
the
think
right
the only person who
room.
has the right to do that.
Huh? What?
I think it's the one over there.
Oh, use the part, use the right parts.
Yeah. No.
I don't think we changed. Roll that room back out.
Hall of Knowledge.
No.
That's where that's
That's
the
where
next floor. I mean, that's after that floor, right?
No. Because the floor that you guys are supposed to be going
The
into
hall of knowledge.
is the floor where you fought the war droid.
But that was the last one.
No.
No.
The last floor y'all fought the
Because the
Condor.
war droid floor had 2 separate areas.
Yes.
Is that it here in the wall, or is that the?
No, that's the holocron. That's where you got the last holocron.
Do you want to split?
No. Because I didn't have these maps done when we did the fight, remember?
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay, so maybe you just didn't do that one.
yeah, I didn't do that one because it was just a fight room that I could just literally
Okay, yeah.
put together.
All right, so.
But so you go down into you have to go down into there in order to get to the next floor. So you go into it. You come down the stairs. You enter into the control room,
Yeah.
and that overlooks down into the arena where you see the droid destroyed, like almost right up against the wall. Because I think you destroyed it like right here.
It didn't get very far. It was one of those fights that was really quick.
It still
It was very quick for me
it fucked him up pretty bad.
because back then you rolled in that one and knocked me out.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That was back before the.
Yeah.
that was back before the change. But the terminal in this room is still on. And you remember, well, you were the one that messed with it. So give me an intelligence check.
That was also the room where I was given my first nat 1, my auto nat 1 from Kathy.
Am I just
Yes,
doing
it
straight
was.
And I
intelligence
abused
or
it by fucking
investigation?
putting the.
Oh, it doesn't really matter.
Do you care about these right now?
No, not yet.
Oh, I didn't realize those were there.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
12. You remember that you got locked out of the systems. That there should have been more in the systems, but you got locked
Yeah,
out.
because I was fucking with him. I couldn't read all the writing and shit, so I was just trying different
Oh,
combinations.
hold on for a second. Let me actually look at the writing.
Okay.
All of us can look at the writing.
I never learned it.
Oh well,
You can look at the writing.
I didn't take the time to learn it. I
Here,
spent more
here's
of
the
my
data
time.
pad.
I've spent
Yeah.
more of my time trying to break the freaking holocron open than anything. It took me forever just to do that.
You either take the Typhonian data pad or we're leaving it
I'm
behind.
taking it out of my inventory.
Alright, we're not leaving it behind.
But I'm clearing every spot in my inventory. I've learned the language.
Chris will hold on to it. You fucking get rid of an important piece of history like that. You piss him off.
History. It's just a fucking text file.
It just took me longer to learn everything.
Alright, turn you back for a moment
It
while
doesn't
Chris
say
fills
anything
it.
important to me.
As he leans in and goes, "So's the data pad that has information about your race."
What? Where's it? Give it! Give it to me!
That's
Grapple check.
That's just a text file too, damn it. There's no pictures. All right, so
How
you guys,
do you read without pictures?
so you guys go up to the console and you can read it now. It's, you know, like there's
Well,
little
some of us
sections that like talk about like droid controls,
Murder droid.
power levels, things of that nature. And then there's also a section within the root menu that says archives.
Well, no, I'll let. Okay, you know how to do the text stuff.
Yeah, I'm not pretty decent.
Yeah,
All right,
read it.
so
That's
okay.
This button, this button, this button.
You good? Am I doing text stuff?
Yes.
Okay, assist me. I'll tell you what is
well, then
good
that's
enough.
you
trust
assisting him.
Damn it. Assist me. I don't care if you're fucking something or not. Shit. I'm not good on bad. That's a 16.
Just, you're not able to access the controls. No. You open the. You hit the button. The viewport closes again. That shows into the room. That was the button that he found last time.
Okay, so I didn't fuck with this last time. I'm trying it again.
Okay.
19.
No, wait.
21.
I totally forgot I put that in there. DC check 21. You actually managed to pull up the holovids, and it's several images line up on the screen in front of you, and it's video of Jedi Knights fighting against this droid, training, and like you're seeing some of the force powers that you guys have like kind of touched and messed with, and some of the force powers that you've seen used, but they're being used in a much larger fashion. You know, like you've seen Chris pull an object and launch it across the room, and you watch one of the knights lift the droid and throw it across the room.
Dude, this guy thing should have killed us 3 times over.
Here was the benefit of unlocking this. If you managed to unlock it, then was gain advantage on one roll in the combat training room.
Oh, the cancer.
The DC check that you still wouldn't be able to get. Well, you might be. Actually, you probably could get it.
What?
What's your plus to tech?
Plus text, plus 8.
Plus 8, and yours
Plus
7. Okay, so you guys still wouldn't be able to get it. But a DC 30 would have allowed you to bypass the fight. It would have allowed you to shut the droid down.
How are we supposed to do that at level 1 or 2?
You weren't supposed to. You were just supposed to be taunted with another screen that you couldn't gain access to. That's all. And there was no guarantee that coming back in, the droid wouldn't reactivate. That's also the room where you found the two-handed sword and the dead-shot slug thrower.
Yeah.
God, you've had that weapon since level fucking 1.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. All right.
It still works.
You guys ready to move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. So you move down to the next room. So is he next floor? No.
No, we're there. All right, you don't.
You're at the map. So good. Put your figures here.
I mean, with the base of a +8, I mean, it's 1d8 for its base attack.
You can move into the hallway, man. That's fine.
Still a pretty good weapon to use right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's the second best roll you can have. 8 is the second best roll you could have at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Only a rogue with expertise would have better.
Alright. So you guys recognize this hallway as the hallway that enters into the halls of knowledge, where the banks of data information are, as well as that locked room was that you saw what was in it through the holo video at the terminal here.
Yeah. Believe we cleared everything else out down here.
Yes.
Because I had the keys to all the doors on this hall. This is the only room that had locked doors. And we don't have the key to the holocron room.
Key?
Captain.
You know, key.
Captain.
Holo terminal.
I had the blue key and the yellow
full
key.
access.
That's all we needed on this. We didn't need this second red
Investigation.
key.
What?
I never played Doom. The original first-person shooter.
I never first
The
original team, but
Well, I don't know. if
Now,
it's
the
first
star
or
charts that
super.
you found, it was only a partial?
No. It's a complete. You said it was a complete star chart because it had. In super, when you imposed it over the current map of the galaxy, it showed trade routes and planets that are not currently on the map of the galaxy.
Okay.
It was not. We never did a full comparison to see if there was parts of the galaxy that have been opened up since then.
Right.
That's not
And
really.
you found that here, right?
Yeah, in that room.
Okay.
As far as I know, we found everything down here because we opened up the safe and the whatever in the bedroom. I could be missing something because it's been 4 months or something since we physically were here.
Right. Old Tythonian script.
Yeah, that's how. That's where we also found the.
Hidden compartment with a lead box about 7 inches long and 4 inches wide.
Ah, it's a lead box because I still have that back on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lead box. Did you ever open it?
Yeah.
What was in there?
I kept it because it was a decorative box. I think that's where the Titanian, the language data pad was.
Okay.
But you said it was a small decorative box, so I kept it because it could be.
Oh,
After I defeat
no.
the Emperor, I'll bury my lightsabers in it and bury it on Tatooine in the sand.
No, you couldn't open it. That was the thing about it. It was a box, but there was no seam.
Now, I also have an ancient puzzle cube on my list.
I think that's supposed to be what it is.
Okay, then the decorative box must be something else.
No, the decorative box you bought to hide the bought the decorative box for something. I can't
We
remember.
bought a decorative box?
Yeah.
I don't remember buying a
I
decorative
don't either.
box. I bought a spacer
I feel like you're
trunk,
thinking of
which
Critical
is still
Role,
on
like
Mandalore.
the dodecahedron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where.
That's where someone bought
that
a
was-
lead box.
I thought the decorative box was.
Hey, what are you doing?
but
What are you
I
doing?
don't recall.
What are you doing?
I don't recall that what it's made out of being important. I didn't think it had more value other than as a decorative box. But I don't have marked on my sheet that it's locked. Usually, if it.
I do remember us finding a box that didn't have seams,
Yeah, that
Okay.
should have been
but I
that
don't
box.
remember us
Alright, it's still on the
purchasing
ship then.
a decorative box.
Okay, that's
So,
then
but it
that's
is
it.
lead,
It's
right?
7 inches long and 4 inches wide, so it's like
Okay.
that wide and about that long.
I'll go back and pry it open.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We've
Alright,
got a
so
couple
this is where
engineers
the
that do that.
holocron room is.
Yeah. Does Chris know where he's going?
Yeah. Well, kind of. He's kind of just meandering around and looking around at everything, getting a closer
I'll
look.
go back and explore the library. We were under attack and didn't have much.
Yeah. You watch as Chris is like running his hands across one of them, and he crouches down and he slides something over and he plugs something. And he messes with something and he plugs it in, and the whole thing lights up.
All the tricks they teach librarians. I guess you can tell me the Spear of Destiny's in here someplace.
How many librarians?
Well, now that you mention it, and he takes his data pad and he touches it to one of the lights that's emitting from it,
Yeah.
and you watch as a download happens. And he looks at the information. Huh. Wonder if we can get all of these working again.
When you say lights, you're talking about the shelves in here?
Yeah. So like they're solid shelves,
It's all
right?
books, right?
Yeah, it's like the great library, right?
But where you would see like in a normal library books shelved, it's just all blank stuff, you know, just like flat face. But when he fiddles with something down at the bottom of one of them, it lights up and you see the blue lines going all the way down it. And then you watch him as he touches his data pad to one of the blue lights and it downloads information onto the...
There's not a mass downloads, like, circulation desk or anything like.
If the terminal in the head archivist's room isn't completely down, you should be able to. But you'd have to get all these other ones working in order to gain access to all the information. It's an old system.
Oz and Kez like challenge.
I don't know, then we can set them to work at it and see if we can get it all
That way,
working.
I mean, you had your business then motion toward the stone door that's without a.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute. This is a stone door in the archives without a keyhole. And you're attempting to open it. You're gonna get thrown out of the university.
I've already been thrown out of the university. I snuck back in
Not
here.
listening to it. Listening to us.
Came in through the bellows.
Yes. You've got a lit torch in you.
No. It's a sympathy line. Alright.
I go out of my way to repress those books.
Still mad, huh?
Excellent rendition, excellent books, but fuck, there's so much bad shit that happens.
Okay, so...
Alright, so I guess we leave them to work on this, or what's the deal?
Yeah, you guys can.
Is Chris staying or coming?
Chris is going to stay up here.
Okay.
He's going to try and help them get all of this working again.
Onward to levels below.
Levels below her.
Alright.
Alright, well, we're run real quick past to the other two, the three other rooms here, just to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Yeah, no, you guys didn't miss anything. Y'all actually found everything up here.
Down once.
Once more into the breach, dear friend.
Okay. So...
It's got 2 in there.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Down there. Use.
I am missing a D8.
Now, all of this looks very familiar to you.
Or D20. Where's the D20?
There's a D20 on the table.
Not that one.
Chambers.
What was this set?
Yeah, you found a bunch of like broken training swords and scraps of robes
Yeah.
and shit.
Yes, I have.
Did we ever get to that force field?
No.
No.
Alright, that's
So
right.
I definitely still have some tattered robe that need to be altered.
So dirty roast down here. No, I have a dirty roast from my other temple. I need to get cleaned up. We really need a table on wood shit.
I don't know. Why
Maybe
you need
Corson
that.
could learn some new,
Yeah.
learn a new trade while he sits in this
I'm not telling him he has to do laundry.
You said you had a key?
I had 2 keys on the previous floor. One was to the chest in the room. Or it's like a storage compartment in the room or something.
How did y'all get
Two
into this
chests.
room? Y'all picked a
Chest
lock.
and door on L4. Which the other floor would have been L4. No. Level 4.
Okay. How many levels of Jedi are you?
I'm only one level in Jedi.
2. And you?
2.
Not enough.
Do what?
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Where are we going?
Is the force field still up?
Mm-hmm.
We're not high enough. We're not good enough Jedi's yet to get in past the force field.
Why is that?
Is the object in the
Because I'm
is
mostly
the
a
object behind the force field, is it movable?
No. It is anchored to the floor.
How many levels of Jedi do we need?
Was that?
How many levels of Jedi do we need?
Probably 3.
Why
Have
can't
we
we?
ever
Why can't we combine our powers?
Our powers combined.
because
can
we
save
don't have
the planet.
we don't have 3 of us, we need 5 people to make Captain Planet.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're making Captain Planet. We're making.
Captain Force Field.
It takes 5 lines to make Voltron, 5 people to make Captain Planet.
5 Power Rangers to make the Megazord.
No, it depends on what iteration of Power Rangers you're
Mighty
talking
Morphin.
about. 'Cause,
Okay,
I mean,
Mighty Morphin's
No.
the only one that really matters.
There was a Power Rangers iteration that only had
Okay.
3 members.
Ninja Samurai.
So you get down there
Ninja
and the
Storm.
force field is still active.
Time Force had 5. Turbo had 5. Dump some fucking Power Ranger nerds.
Alright, try one more thing.
Sure.
From my hand near the bottom of the force field across the floor,
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling for power flowing to the force field.
Nope. Give me a force check.
I don't want that.
That was a 8.
Oh yeah, okay. You're kind of stumped here.
Come back with the lightsaber and cut through the wall. Or just cut through the force field.
How are you gonna cut through the force field? Ain't you watched Phantom
What?
Menace?
Just because they couldn't do it.
Where's the force
In
field?
this room.
That's where the force field is.
Yeah. Did we see any electrical conduits?
That's what I was
Yeah,
feeling
that's what we
for.
just look for.
Okay. Did you? Since you did a terrible job of that.
He's like,
I
stand
think it was
aside.
better. That is a.
What type of check are you doing?
It's perception. It's a 14.
Nah, you won't see anything.
Walk in and make a tech check.
He walks in.
Can I use? Does my scanners pick up anything? Can they pick up anything like that?
No. Give me a tech check.
11. I rolled a 3.
Y'all are fucking flopping hard.
Perception.
I assist you.
That was a 3. But I gained advantage on perception. That was a 1.
I assisted you, so it's double advantage.
It's the highest one yet.
4?
No, it's an 8. Wait, what is my perception?
I don't fucking know.
It's a 6. So 8, 6. It's 14.
14. That's what I rolled.
14 tech check.
Oh, I rolled
No.
that perception.
I was doing a perception.
Oh, you were doing perception.
That's
Okay,
right.
yeah, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
Double advantage. You got what I got on the standard roll.
Yeah, because I was in. I rolled a tech check at first, but
What's my passive picking up in here, man?
Did we search? I don't think we searched all these rooms.
I'm kind of upset I lost the guy. And I don't
Hey,
know
hold on.
how.
All three of us go back
Y'all didn't
upstairs.
search any of these rooms.
No, we were in a bit of a hurry because we were still fighting.
What?
All right, let's
Hold on,
search the room.
hold on.
No, the
We
room
go back
where we said-
upstairs. Oz. 3 times. Code and aptitude. Done. Alright, cool. Now we all have code and aptitude. Continue searching. Now we can add a fucking, what is it, D4?
Yeah, D6.
D6 to our rolls.
But it's only the one roll.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's all we want one roll. Then we go back and get it again.
Pick and choose what role you want.
But you're gonna have to
Alright, so
sit here
give me
and
an
rest.
investigation check if you guys are searching this area.
Does that count as our one roll?
No, you choose.
You choose which roll.
Oh. Investigation, you said?
Don't use it, it's not going to help.
Well, I got it.
I got a 13.
12, 13.
I got a 9.
Oh my
What are we investigating within 5? Is it within 5 feet?
Yes.
I get an advantage on that.
Do it, man.
We get to roll again. Oh look, 18 that time.
Gives you a grand total of...
With my investigation at 23.
Alright. So with a 23, you find... You find weapon parts.
Oh yay! What kind of weapons?
Just randomized weapon parts.
Okay.
You find
I'll write it down and give me a list later.
three weapon parts.
Okay, 3 weapon parts.
You also find lightsaber parts.
Oh shit.
Hey, what'd you find there?
You also find a lightsaber crystal.
Oh! Oh shit.
Now you have a second crystal.
So 3 random weapon parts, how many
How
lightsabers?
do you do that thing with over the shoulder really fast?
3. Oh, you just kind of
3 lightsaber parts?
No,
I'm not tall enough.
You have force mask?
No,
Oh, get up there.
I have a real
I
mask.
can put you on my shoulders.
And 1 lightsaber pistol.
Why are
Yep.
you so heavy?
Alrighty.
Then the other room was like the security office or the warden's office or something.
Yep. Well,
Why
not the
did they
warden's
call?
office.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Why did they call Padawan? This is no Padawan course.
It's
It's
the
no Padawan
nice
jail.
chamber. It's the
It's the brig.
Padawan jail?
it's the
It's the
resident.
Padawan's chambers.
Yeah.
It's Padawan's chamber. It's the residence.
It's the Padawan prison. It's the failed Padawan.
Nah, the double P.
Okay.
Padawan Penitentiary.
Alright,
That's
I
the
guess
peepees?
down one more
That's
time.
where the peepees were.
Or I don't know if it was down or if it's
It's
across into to the big learning room.
it's across into the big learning room.
Yeah.
Y'all search the crap out of this place. This is where him sat down and learned.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
I
learned
accepted
more.
that lesson before.
Holy hell. We got him to sit still?
That's where you found the working training droid. That's where you found the Colto packs.
Those
Oh,
fucking things
yeah.
that worked amazing.
Well, no, you found regular Colto packs and some of the old ones.
Yes, the ones that we traded for. Well, I guess it got me off Yagaminer alive.
Yeah.
Would never have gone to Yagaminer if I hadn't turned it.
Okay. And then you know that the floor below is the
I mean,
we go back
final
and get
testing
your
chamber.
What was the way?
Because we're not in any shape to bring her out of carbonate at the moment.
Well, that'd be cool, though.
Why are we putting someone in carbonate?
Remember his master?
Maybe after we're.
Prison breaker.
She's not in jail. She's just in a warehouse someplace. Alright, let's go into the other big room, or is there something we should stay
Are you
here
going further down?
Well, it's y'all. Y'all found everything in the other room. I'll just flat out tell y'all that.
So,
Okay,
so
so
it's just
we'll
that
go-
force field area.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we've re-entered the room.
Roll again. What are you
So
doing?
the last
I'm assisting you. Whatever you're doing, I'm assisting you.
The last room of this temple.
What about
Yeah, go through the learning room, go down to the last room.
you go down to the puzzle room?
Yeah, we figured out.
And then you
Beyond
go
that, there
into
was
the-
the other room with the holocron that we got.
Well, yeah. So you go into the puzzle room, you go into the fight room, the final challenge room, and then you went
Yeah.
into the Datacron room where
Okay.
you had the vision of the
Oh,
Dark Lady.
I thought that was the forge down there.
No.
So what do you get? Tech check?
Whichever you're doing, I'm
Tech?
assisting you.
Well, why not? Let's do tech again. Perception didn't give us much of shit. Tech. 18. 16.
Alright, so you're 18.
18
Add a
plus.
d6.
Oh my! I have an 8 in tech. That would
Okay,
give me 26.
So
You could have had a 30.
using your tech check, right?
Oh, if it's not enough, I'm gonna use the plus.
You can't add the 6 after the result has been accepted.
Oh, shit.
So, using your tech check,
Yeah.
you start scanning the room. And that includes what you would normally do, going through your different visual filters. And you notice that as soon as you switch to one of your other filters other than your normal sight, the force field's not there.
Do you want to
What
walk through?
filter am I looking through?
Any of your other filters. The
Any
force
other filter?
any other filters, the night vision, the thermal, the force field does not exist.
I'm gonna go ahead and reach out and.
Your hand stops.
Okay, so there is something physically stopping me, but nothing else can perceive it. Force sense.
The ability?
No, I'm gonna use
Force
sense.
check?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me your force check.
Nat 20. 26.
Focusing yourself and concentrating on guidance and trying to solve the puzzle. You realize that this field that is preventing you from moving forward is made solely of the force.
I'm one with the force is with.
The one with the force is with me.
Yeah. Saber?
No.
This was an armory room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fine.
So you're unable to move into the room still? Or-
Yeah, he can't move past the force field.
It's a force field derived fully of like the force.
Okay.
Alright, so I will use sense force.
Okay.
So then a 30 feet. If you sense the force in this way, use your action to. You can use your action to determine the direction from which it originates. Where is it originating?
It's originating from that square.
From this.
Yes.
Alright. So it's coming from whatever's on the other side of that fucking force field. Can we see what that is? Is it just a...
From the angle, you can't really tell. You can attempt a lore check on it if you wish.
That is a 23.
So looking at it closely, it's starting to look familiar to you. And you remember the time you spent studying the hollow construction in the other chamber. And That is beginning to look very much like a lightsaber forge.
Oh, guys, that looks like a lightsaber forge.
Hold out, Crystal.
Nothing happens.
When I put my hand up against the force field, it feels like a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like energy, or does it feel like
It feels alive.
feels alive?
Ugh.
Toll the dead.
That's
Idiot.
fear.
Does the shield react to force powers?
Do you
It
try?
can be pushed, pulled,
Do you try?
push on
Using
just a little bit.
using what skill?
Push, pull,
Which is a
cantrip.
so you push pull on the force field. The force field doesn't move, but as soon as your force energy touches it, it almost feels like it starts pulling the force energy from you.
I'll stand back for a second. I have a force skill I have not used before.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how it's going to react to this situation.
Activate my shield.
Iron Man, barn door protocol. Put the gauntlet on. I will close my eyes and meditate on the force for a second, and I will activate my force camouflage.
Okay. What is force camouflage?
Invisibility.
Level.
Second. I got it from the force sensitive feat. Everybody should have a second level force skill at level 5 from force sensitive feat. One time a day use.
As soon as you activate force camouflage, you guys feel Kaya's force presence just evaporate.
She's dead.
And then, with a resounding thunderclap, the shield
That's AoE damage.
yanks that force energy from you and collapses. You get electrocuted. No, I'm kidding.
I did this trial already. Bring it on.
That laser from Resident Evil pops up and just fucking cuts you off at the knees.
I catch it with 2 fingers and just
You
part
try
it.
to jump and it follows you.
Just bring it up to my mouth.
Lift yourself up to the ceiling, turns into a fucking grid. God damn it.
That's like the scariest part where he's like jumping over.
That's where
Shit.
that's
And
where
then
being made of
fuck.
nanites comes in handy. It goes through me, I just reform on the other side.
Alright.
I'm wearing best clothes.
Yeah, and it would cut you in half just as much at the seam of your armor.
I mean, I would have to get to the scene. Block out the whole.
Am I still invisible?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's alive.
You hear as Chris just runs down and into the room. Is everything okay?
Incoming,
I
no
thought that was
fires.
Tribal Jones. Like Jumanji.
Yeah, we're just opening the door.
As we did.
Oh. Just kind of felt one of you wink out, and then I heard a loud thunderclap, so. Everything good?
I learned how to use Thunder Wave.
I'm gonna move off the force field divination. Stand behind the forge.
Okay.
this point, everybody come in the room. Open, close, slam the door down.
Okay.
Reveal that my dark eyes. No.
This is where she kills us all.
No, she couldn't beat me in a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, that's why I write guitar.
Wait, what's going on? Who's signing my own?
No, we need to identify the said assortment of parts.
Telemetry.
Just an assortment of parts.
That's all it is.
Really, are they just generic parts? If they are, that's fine.
No. So, how many collapsible hilts did you have?
I had the one.
one.
The one of his, though, was for a two-handed weapon.
Yes.
Right.
It had to be a two-handed weapon.
So you find two collapsible hilts.
Who's finding it? He's finding it.
I'm identifying them, but I don't know.
I have two belts already.
You find a
I'll put the collapsible attachment on my rifle.
you find
Extends away out and stabs somebody from. Then turn on the blades.
damn it.
It's fun.
Your lightsaber is just a bayonet.
It's a long
Each
way.
lightsaber
I
has
actually
four
wanted
parts.
to do
Yeah.
something about it. Instead of having it on me, having it
Crystal
attached to the
and
rifle is
power
like
cell.
almost
Right.
like a shirt
Your
over
crystal is occupied by the crystals that you have. Right?
That depends
I
on
was
which
thinking
tall.
about-
Give me that extra one.
I was also thinking about designing a rifle that had a lightsaber attached to it in a way that I can still wield the rifle like
Okay, that's a bayonet.
two-handed weapon. Well, yeah, but just to where it's not like, oh, here's this big old rifle, and then I got a blade on it to where I can just like kind of
Yeah,
carry
you
it.
know, in Power Rangers, in Lightspeed Rescue, they had rifles that would be like, shoot, shoot, and then they were swords.
Let me do that. You won't let me do the lightsaber rifle though.
Okay. So you're identifying all the lightsaber parts, right?
Yeah.
So you find two collapsible hilts.
Two collapse.
You find an Adegan crystal regular.
Is this everything we've accumulated?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting the stuff you had written down on your sheet.
Oh, not including the ones I got?
The ones that you identified at agent. We
Oh,
had it
earlier.
agent.
No, but this time, because I got
Yeah,
the
so that's 3 items. We're still missing 5 power supplies.
You have the power supplies you need.
Okay, so those are all generic.
Those are all generic.
Unless you want somebody to use that special one you have.
What?
This special power cell.
You find what's called a birothesis lens adept.
Adept. Just one of those.
Just one.
Okay, that's 1 of 5 lenses. Well,
2.
I don't know
4,
how you're
5.
counting his lenses.
Well, he's got to have multiple lenses and emitters, but
And the emitters aren't anything specific. They're part of the construction of the lights.
right. But only one of the lenses has to be specialized in order for it to gain the benefit. The other lenses are just
Yeah.
directional lenses.
Stabilizes the prerequisite of 2-handed and reduces down to the 1-handed.
Yeah, the lightweight stabilized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 of those. So
Okay.
We already have those.
So I gave you that. I could take that off my list.
Okay. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You find in a no. You're right. So, wow, there are not a lot of.
Not at the lower levels. The lenses and all are pretty basic at the lower
Oh, wait.
levels.
I got it.
Can I have that lightsaber crystal?
Which one?
The one you just found today.
What is the crystal? I don't know.
It's just an Adegan crystal. I don't know what it is. But you have your own.
+3 to damage.
The Deegan crystal? Wow. What level is that?
That one is like a prototype, I believe. It's all cells. You don't need
Because you've already got your
cells.
special blind sight crystal.
Right. No, I mean, at some point I'm gonna have a second saber, but one's gonna be one on me and one for the rifle. But I don't need anything for that
So
right
you
now.
don't mind me using a second?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not using mine mainly for attack. Like you're gonna be using yours.
Okay. Yeah, just get that out of the way. Okay. So we have the biosynthesis lens.
I don't have the melee damage that you guys have. For me, really, it would just give me the 1d8 or some shit like that for the lightsaber.
You find one disguised hilt.
Alright.
So read off what you have so far.
Alright. Okay, so 2 collapsible hilts, 1 disguised hilt,
Okay, so that's the 3
1
hilts.
vegan crystal, 1 biosynthesis lens.
Okay.
Alright, let me look that up real quick.
Biosynthesis lens is you have the adept version, which is a +3 to attack rolls when using force powers.
3
When you use this as a focus.
force power. That would probably be you. Because you're not melee fighting with it,
I
but
wouldn't
still
have-
having.
I would still gain the ability just by carrying it with me.
Yeah, because you'd be focusing your force energy through your lightsaber. Because that would be your force focus.
Okay.
I mean, yes, it would help me too, but I'm not so much using force powers for damage that often.
Yeah.
All right, so we still need what? 3 more lenses?
Yes,
4 more lenses?
Yes. Let me refresh the fact that I wrote that in the wrong place. Because he needs them and I need them.
Okay. You gain 2 you gain 2 Dragite lenses, adept, +1 bonus to attack rolls made with this weapon. Additionally, it gains keen 1.
Okay, and what's the last thing? The other 2 items?
So you need 2 more
Yeah,
lenses, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you write everything down, we'll divide everything up.
See the crippling beam lenses?
Huh?
The crippling beam?
What the hell? Why would I give you that? That's fucking insane.
I want to do for my character, do for Tiff.
I was tempted to give you the Artusian. It's +1 to attack rolls made with this weapon. Additionally, you gain the defensive property.
Once again, defensive is I like keen, vicious, brutal.
Yeah, but that
With my character,
the
those-
crippling beam is +1 to attack, -1 to damage,
Well, it depends on which level you choose.
and additionally, it gains the disarming property.
Yeah.
That's the apprentice level.
Yeah, they all gain the disarming. Just
I'm trying to find one that
of a split between the two.
What does vicious do again?
Vicious.
Sounds like a dark side thing to me.
It's
Brutal is the one that gives you extra crit dice.
vicious just gives you extra dice, doesn't it?
Spell vicious, I missed the order.
Vicious.
Weapon property vicious. Weapon. When you deal damage with the weapon, with the vicious property and roll the maximum on a weapon damage dice, you gain bonus damage equal to the vicious number. So if your weapon is a 1d6 lightsaber and you roll 6, that becomes a 7. If your weapon property was 3d4 and you roll a 4,
Okay, so you gain
2
two-
ones, the 4 would become a 5.
2 vibration lenses adept. +1 to attack rolls made with this weapon. Additionally, gain vicious 1.
Alright, so the Deegan crystal is spoken for. And do you want that Viro?
Well, with everything else we have, let's figure out everything else we have. What about the random?
You also find all the little emitters and
Yeah, that stuff's pretty easy
all the little emitters and additional lenses that would be required for
What are the
Tim's.
3 random weapon parts?
Those would be for like standard weapons, not
to blast.
lightsabers. It'd be like blasters and vibro.
I understand the blasters, but I'm just saying I use the blasters, so I'm curious.
I think you would like to just throw them in the pile to be identified with everything else.
If it's something I can use to upgrade any of my weapons, because I don't use the lightsabers like everybody else is going to.
Actually, mine's Gensu.
Huh?
I do Gensu with it. Gensu, fruit, vegetables, doors, droids, bampas.
Well, you guys are going to mainly use yours as an offensive weapon. I'm not going to be running in melee with a lightsaber. I'm going to be standing
You were
back.
killing everybody before I get to them.
Not even. I mean, I don't deal as much damage as.
But yeah, you had something that you could improve.
Your armor has slots, right?
We never got that far. I mean, I think we do have slots on it, but we never.
Well,
Like really have
it depends on what you want to.
show
I would say the
it
Beskar
has a weird name.
does not,
But it
because
does
the
say
Beskar qualities
So if you didn't know what that stuff was,
would accept it. Now he's got a cloak that could have slots. Technically, he's got a belt and boots that could have slots.
Well, what about gauntlets? I mean, gauntlets.
Your gauntlets give you the strength bonus.
Well, I didn't know if those had slots on them too. I mean, well, not necessarily gauntlets, but you know, I was thinking of like because I do have the tech and everything like that, and
Oh no. So you grab this one.
my other one has the flamethrower, and
Yeah. Just stick with the
I mean,
regular.
his wristband can be modified.
vanilla Jack on the right? The base ones.
It would be your call as to whether or not you wanted to be able to put sockets on an already enhanced item. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Which
I
I
got
would not have a problem with if you want to do it.
The
but-
Beskar
You
Gom,
got-
which is what he has, right? This armor comes equipped with 24 slots that can each hold a single item.
Yeah, but I thought those that was sort of a pocket. Like where he could carry blaster packs. It's not an armor modification slot.
sweet.
Yeah, you go.
Right.
That's Jerry's.
I mean,
What?
So what happened was
No one told me.
I got ice cream. I didn't tell you.
No?
2 seconds ago I said that strawberry was yours.
I didn't hear it.
Anyway, I got ice cream for
Oh,
like
wow.
all 4 of us, and you had pistachio, he had pistachio, he had strawberry.
Somebody took my pistachio.
I'm just saying he took it because.
That was my bad. I didn't even explain.
Took a small bit.
I don't know. That's what 5 bites right there, 4 bites or so far.
It's like a little bit of the top layer. Like it's
Oh, wait.
like this
It's like
thing.
this much of it.
No, like that much.
Versatile.
That was curious. As soon as I saw it eat green, I was like, he's like, he fails. And I was like,
Now,
oh,
they do have rules for what they call called amplifiers or augments, which are like you can get a
so
lightsaber
how about this?
that has
I'll
6
take a little bit
slots
of
for
strawberry
modifications.
off the top.
That's fine.
4 slots
I don't eat
are
ice
for
cream with it.
the hilt,
I like it.
the crystal,
Yeah, I like it too.
or the hilt, the crystal, the lens,
And the power.
set.
Right.
The other 2 are for augments. The augments are usually class specific or
Right.
attribute enhancement. They're mainly designed for higher level characters. But if you're looking for something that the Beskar Gam would carry, you could give it augment slots.
Okay, so I'll tell you what.
Because like his scout augment, some of the class augments are basically they augment class
Cherry?
abilities.
Yeah, but like not real cherry, like Amaretto cherry.
I don't know what that means. It tastes like.
You get a Bonch Advanced
Yeah, it is
2ZBC.
What it tastes like.
Say that one more time.
You get a Bonch Advanced 2 Zeta Bravo Charlie.
It's almonds and a weird tasting ice cream.
BANSCHE Advanced.
SCE.
SCHE.
SCHE. Okay. What is that?
When you spend tech points and deal damage with the tech power cast through this wrist pad,
Where's that?
you deal additional damage equal to the number of tech points spent.
Okay, so that's definitely. Well, you're here. It's yours. You want to give it to somebody else?
Yeah, I knew what you were going to say.
Well, Kaz could use it too. You're the
Well,
one here.
I mean,
I just gave Kez some
well,
modifications.
I was going to say Kez or Oz, both of them. I mean, they use tech,
Yeah,
but.
you might want to write that down since that's a you only thing.
What?
Is that supposed to be Banshee? Like Banshee? Sort of a different stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Banshee.
Banshee.
BANSCHE.
CHE. Yeah, I guess.
What is it? Banshee what?
2ZBC wristpad.
It's a Banshee Advanced 2ZBC.
So you basically replaces your existing.
It's an
wristpad.
amplifier.
Oh, it goes on the wristpad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes on your wristpad. Wristpad amplifier.
Flip it over and taste it. Tell me it doesn't taste like ice cream.
Banshee Advanced Wristband Amplifier.
Yeah, I think that's one of the slot. Like the lightsaber has the power.
I do not want him to have that. Fuck no.
The wrist pads have their own equipment you can install on them.
I don't want me to have what?
Mine's was cherry flavor.
When you cast a tech power with this wrist pad that gives you a bonus to AC or saving throws,
Cherries.
you can increase that bonus by +1. No, sir. I already have a hard enough time dealing with you because of that shit.
Never had.
I
Like
don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either.
Should give him all the power.
I mean, you already can't miss.
Just make me hard
When
to
you
hit.
spend tech points to cast a tech power that restores hit points to a creature, the creature gains a number of temporary hit points equal to twice the number of tech points spent. So that is a
Why did this start to sound like math problems?
It's half of D&D, right?
So there's a
Sinar Starfire X Force Mark II. So SIENAR Starfire
So and so goes to the grocery store.
X-Force
It drops 3 on the way.
Mark II
It's like,
wrist pad modification data port.
alright, so that's the data port check and the amplifier. So you get the processor and the motherboard.
Well, he's only got one more part left.
Okay. I think his gun has all 4 components. He doesn't use a shield.
But he could.
I have it. I have one. It raises the AC just in case I use
Yeah, when you're not using the two-handed rifle.
yeah. If I need to boost that AC, you know, I was like, oh fuck this guy. You know,
Just you pull the lightsaber out.
You just need to learn mage armor.
Major.
His best card is so far beyond mage armor.
Okay. And a Arakyd, ARAKYD, Vector, Mark II, wrist pad modification processor. You gain a +1 bonus to the tech attack rolls for tech powers you cast through this wrist pad.
I don't want to hear you complaining about us not hitting and not missing people.
It was either that or give him a +2 bonus to the tech save DC of tech powers.
Okay, old person. Yeah, just stay there for a while.
Like, you don't realize the fucking advancements and stuff, man. They are absolute boosts. The only ones I could give you that would be like beneficial to me, give you a +1 to the save DC and a -1 to the attack.
Yeah.
You know, and that's nobody's gonna want to use those.
Yeah.
So,
That depends. Like,
all right,
in any case, yeah. Alright, so is that everything?
that should be everything.
Okay, so unless you have a problem with him having all those
I
three
don't.
things, he just.
As long as I can get my light disc.
Alright, so you want the collapsible hilts, right?
Sure.
What about the you already have like a disguise hilt, right?
Yeah, I got the wrist one.
Yeah.
The wrist pad.
So what we can give,
It's a wrist mounted. It mounts to my wrist, so it's basically I don't do anything with it. I can activate it, turn it on and off.
Yeah.
That's about it.
you can take it off the wrist. You'd have to take an action.
I mean, would I actually be able to wield it in a hand, or is it a wrist mounted where I have to? Have
Oh,
it
it allows you it allows you to mount it to your wrist. You can still take it off and use it.
But you couldn't like quick drive. You'd have to take a whole round to. I mean, that'd be a ruling. I'm not sure, but okay.
It's got the fixed property.
Yeah, it's got the fixed prop. Oh no, you're right. It does have the fixed prop.
I would have to be having it on to be able to
Okay,
use
so your choice. Do you want the disguise tilt?
it. Well, who else is using it?
You don't want the
Nobody's
disguise
using the disguise tilt.
Yeah.
No, he wants the
tilt.
collapsible.
So you have the two collapsibles then.
I mean, I'm going to be using light rings. I don't know how those are collapsible or not.
That's where it pulls back, or it doesn't stay a ring the whole time. It collapses down into
Okay.
just.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I thought that's what you wanted.
No, I thought that's what you wanted because the way you described it to me was that you'd flick them out and they would create the rings.
Yeah.
All right. So now the only other thing is the lens.
I'm just going with the flow. Whatever makes it
There's
work.
the lens for the +3 force power with force powers. Was that to hit with force powers or to?
The what?
The
power
+3
synthesis?
lens for force power. I thought that was a +3 to hit.
+3 attack bonus when you're
Yeah.
using a force power.
Attack.
As when you're focusing as that weapon. So when you're any of your force powers do damage?
Most of
Or
mine
they're-
aren't. Most of mine don't do damage. They're more of like they'll add damage whenever I do an ability, but most of mine are
They
like
say the target makes a save.
most of mine are like a defensive ability. Like I mean, or they are a like a concentration like hex or fear.
Yeah, because those.
I don't have anything that gives me the damage effect for force powers right now, except for improved feedback, actually. Feedback and improved feedback.
So do you want that lens to make those hit better?
Dark side powers.
When was that stopping you?
Those are the only offensive force powers I have.
Alright,
Feedback
Hex
and
is a very good offensive force power.
but it doesn't. It's not like.
It's not a roll for it. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
The hex is just giving me an extra 1d6 whenever I do an attack.
Yeah.
But that's why the only reason why I haven't used hex that much is because I've been using my hunter's marks.
So your
and
marks
stuff.
are 1,000 times more worthful.
Yeah, but the marks are tech powers, not force powers. It still is not a roll.
The problem is that because it's a concentration, I can only have one concentration at a time.
Yeah, so the other two lenses, there's the two Dragite, which are +1 attack, crit increased by 1. And there's two vibration lenses, which are
+2 attack and or no.
+1 to attack
Yeah.
and vicious. What vicious says is that when you hit and you roll your damage dice, if you roll the maximum number on a dice, you increase that by the vicious number. So if your weapon's vicious 1 and it does 1d6 damage, you roll a 6, it becomes a 7. And like if it's a 2d6 weapon and you roll 6s on both, they both become 7s. They don't have to both, you know, it just, whenever you max a dice roll. So like if you crit and one of those crit dice comes up the max number, it goes up. If they all roll the max number, they all go up. So those are the options on the lightsaber crystals.
No, I don't need a crystal. Right?
No, those are the lenses.
Lenses, sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm thinking glass, crystal.
So you have the vicious. What else?
There is either vicious or keen, which is improved the crit by 1.
I'll take keen.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna have. Is it just gonna be? Because I'm gonna have 2.
Yeah, there are 2 of each of these lenses.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a.
Don't forget,
Keen and a
I
vicious
do
one.
have two of the cells. One that has the dire 2 and keen 1, and then the other one is the finesse property. I don't
I'll
know.
take that one with the keen and the dire if you don't want it.
Okay, that's the that's the champion. Whatever you said it was.
Alright, so this is the dragon. This is the vibration. They're at depth level. And alright, I know I've asked you this like 5 times this evening. What was that thing called? A Muline cell, right?
Yeah,
And it's a what level?
champion.
Okay. Alright, so we've divvied up all the parts except for the disguise hilt.
Well, I do have the collapsible lightweight stabilizer.
You have 2 hidden hilts, right?
Yeah,
2 hidden hilts, a keen.
collapsible
and a
hilts.
vicious. Collapsible. Right.
And I do have the collapsible. I do have a lightsaber, lightweight stabilizer. It's a hidden property.
Oh, I got our hilts and lenses. Is that enough?
And you've got your crystals already.
Crystals already, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't give us power cells.
Alright.
He just had one from, I think, the first trip to the temple.
Yeah.
Alright, so I don't need to keep track of all that stuff. He has that. I will mark that I have a disguise tilt if someone else wants it later.
So if I'm using, nobody else is using the dexterity cell, right?
I thought that was a hilt.
It is. No, it's a cell. Dexterous master cell. Cell type gains finesse property and reduces dexterity by 2.
Yeah, you can go in and, I mean, for you it won't change the stats of your lightsaber unless you're wielding it outside your armor. While you're wearing your armor, your strength and your dex mod are the same thing. If you take operative levels, it would be an issue because you could use your sneak attack with it, but
Yeah, I'm not using operators on it. But I mean, I figured if we got it, I mean, why not use it? We can always change it later, right?
Yeah, you can put it in your lightsaber. It will not cause a problem. Just make sure you write that down. That that's what you're.
Well, I mean, you either got a regular cell or you got this.
Yeah. All right. So, you still awake, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that gives. I still have 2 hilts.
Yeah, you get to choose between those two.
Just waiting on you.
I'm good to go in that regard.
Hmm.
I'm good to go in the regard to the lightsabers.
Okay. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
So who's going first?
I will.
All right.
Because I have done this before.
Huh?
Because I have done this before.
All right. Like, just a character done this before?
He's been to Disney World.
The character has done it before. I've not looked. I didn't.
I don't know.
what rules you're using to.
I was just gonna use my own.
Okay, that's fine.
So the first thing you need to do is you need to center yourself. So I need a force check.
That's a 15 plus 6, 21.
Okay. So you center yourself. And in the process of centering yourself, the two of you, I guess, are watching.
I would actually I'll step back and watch from outside the room. Not for just.
I would ask you to step out of the room.
No, y'all can watch through the door and all. I assume Chris has come down to
We're both peering around the edge of the door frame.
just gives me room and there's me flying lightsaber parts. He just shows up. Just comes up out of the floor. What did you? I found the holocron I was looking for.
Yeah.
I see he's holding a little red triangle in his hand. He goes,
Red triangle? I don't remember there being a red triangle.
oh, I've got that written down.
Hey,
My precious.
I've got them all written down.
Okay. So, centered.
So as the two of you are watching him, you watch him as as Kaya meditates, as she meditates, and in a very trance-like state, Kaya begins to pull the lightsaber parts out of random pouches, and she holds each one delicately, as though she's taking in every detail of the part, and then she sets it onto the pedestal. She does this with every part for both lightsabers. You see her. I need another force check from you.
That's a 15.
You see, she takes in a deep breath, and as she exhales, you almost see the force energy flow from her mouth and nose out onto the lightsaber parts as they absorb this force energy. And the crystal that Kaya was not attuned to begins to glow this vibrant green. And when she breathes in that the next time, all the parts begin to lift off of the pedestal, and they start moving around, lining up and adjusting. Here, I need you to make a artisan tools check. The artificer.
20.
Are you proficient?
Yes, I'm proficient with Artificer's tools as a Jedi Guardian. I rolled an 18. That helps.
That's fine.
And then the +2 for my intelligence,
Mhm.
and the +3 for proficiency.
So, as this happens, the lightsaber parts begin to kind of rotate in the air, line themselves up, and you watch as Kaya, as her hands lift, and she starts just making slight gestures with her fingers. And as she does this, like, each part begins to assemble itself. Need another force check from you.
That's 17 plus 6, 23.
The parts begin to link into each other and rotate and screw in and, you know, connect. You see little wires adjust and go into their appropriate
Should pull an X-Men.
go into their appropriate places. The crystals hover in specific spots as the lightsabers start to come together and close up. When the lightsabers close, they rotate in the air in all different directions, you know, spinning.
Except pointing towards me. That's dangerous. Never point the lightsaber at yourself.
Like Luke Skywalker.
As though,
Yeah, you hold it up.
even though you can see that Kaya's eyes are closed, as though she is looking at each lightsaber, memorizing every aspect of the hilt, the scuffs and scratches of each part, and eventually the emitters fully face away from her and the two lightsabers come to a rest on the pedestal. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Am I attuned to the lightsabers?
Yes.
That's an 18.
18. You, one last deep breath, and you exhale, and you open your eyes, and your lightsabers are fully built and resting on the pedestal.
Pick them up. These are great sabers.
Okay.
That's what I was planning to build. This whole point, two-handed weapons I can wield in one hand.
Okay.
Okay. I ignite the main hand, the pink blue crystal.
Okay.
Okay.
What does the blade look like?
So it, not quite.
Fuzzy.
So, as the blade snap hisses on, it emits this like dark red initially that fades and turns into this almost white blue with a faint pink glow. It's almost like the white blue color is overpowering the red color of the initial color of the crystal.
Okay. Then I'll pick up the other saber, which is identical on the outside, it's the same hilt,
Right.
and ignite it.
And
Because it says the Adigan.
right, and it as the blade snaps forth, it's this very bright green.
Amazing how those things work. Turn them off. I'll walk over and hold them out for Chris to look at.
He leans over them.
I'm not pointing.
Right.
Take a look at this.
Straight at his eyes.
Look at these.
He leans over each and he just moves his head around. He doesn't touch them. He doesn't, attempt to pick them up. And he smiles, kind of laughs. It's almost like you've done this before.
It's good to be home.
Well done, Kaya.
Did you say something?
No, I didn't.
Let's see how good this crystal with the double critical range goes against the back of his Beskar. How'd you all die? I forgot he was working a jetpack and cut him to the fuel cell.
Alright. Who's next?
Go ahead.
No, go after you. Please answer.
Dude, he knows what weapon he's making.
Mm-hmm.
What weapon are you making? I made great sabers.
I haven't. I was never really intending on using a lightsaber. I mean, I don't have the skill to.
So you're
really,
just gonna do a basic lightsaber then.
I mean, that's basically what it is gonna be. I don't
I mean,
have.
just make a shuto that can clip onto your rifle. Now you have a bayonet.
It's a little long for a bayonet.
And
I mean, that was the one thing I was planning on wanting to do, was do a combination that way. But anything I had thought up, that's why I was like, I didn't really. My ideas got shot down.
Alright.
I couldn't really do anything else that I wanted to do except for actually carry a physical lightsaber that I would never really utilize because I don't use melee weapons unless I absolutely have to. That's the only thing I have.
I'll make my light rings while you figure it out.
Force check.
21.
Alright.
A blaster.
So you close your
rifle
eyes and begin to go into a meditative state. And again, just like with Kaya, your hands just move. Almost as if you're not even controlling the movements. As you begin to pull the pieces of the lightsabers, the components out, the hilts, the emitters, the lenses,
You're a
the
counselor, aren't you?
power, the power sources. And as you set them out, you study them, each part individually, learning every facet of each piece. And when you're done setting them out, you know that you have set them out into the formation of how you want the final product to look.
Alright.
Give me one more force check.
Ooh, 8.
8. Okay. So you breathe in, and as you breathe out, it's almost like a shaking breath that exhales from you. And you guys see as the force energy that emanates from him, as light as the energy may look, there are moments when it darkens just slightly, as it falls over the parts of the lightsabers. And as Bosny breathes in again, the lightsaber parts lift up off of the pedestal and begin rotating and moving around. Go ahead and give me a artisan tool check.
I don't have it.
The forge counts as it.
Okay. 18, whatever I'm at.
Artisan tools is a
Well, any crafting
Is
is technically
intelligence.
intelligence.
Okay.
So what's your int mod?
Plus 4. So 22.
22.
Yeah. So it's not
Because you are
proficient.
using the lightsaber forge, you gain a +1 because of your first force check.
Okay.
So
25.
25. Nice. So, just like Kaya did, Bosny's hands raise up. And again, it feels as though you're not in control. Like something is guiding you as you were doing this. And your fingers twitch and move, and your hands rotate, and each part begins to move around and attach itself to each other. Again, the wires running and the parts screwing into each other, the crystals rotating in place where they're supposed to be, the power sources connecting, every part coming together slowly. This is taking longer to do than Kaya's did. Give me another force check.
Natural 20.
Fantastic. So, as Bosny breathes in and exhales one more time, you again see the force energy leaving his body, and it's more vibrant, and his hands are steady There is no shake in his body anymore as the parts begin to come together and close. And then they stay floating in the air and rotate and move around again as though Bosnia is looking at every piece, every completed part of the project. And then they slowly set back down onto the pedestal. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
6.
That's how you end up with Bosnia the lightsaber.
You gain 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
But you open your eyes and you see the 2 light rings fully deployed, just without them being activated. Sitting on the pedestal. So
Calling
he
them my hands.
calls both of them to his hands.
Activate.
And as the blades snap hiss on at the same time, they emanate this grayish green glow. Like it's a very, very dark green, but with a grayish undertone to it. So it feels like it's supposed to be a very bright blade, but the light that emanates from it is not. It doesn't go very far. It's very subdued in its light
Juniper
expression.
trees and a fog or something?
Kind of.
This is becoming that now. This is the most important card you've given me. Now I can actually use it.
Alright, what do you
We
do?
better jump out of the way. He's gonna throw those things in the door.
Are they still active?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm admiring them. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I like it. Yeah.
Keep bringing too close to your chest.
I'm shadow boxing in the corner, man.
Hey, clang them together like something. Alright, player question, real quick. Before. Is, as a scout, he's proficient in all martial and all library weapons. As a counselor, he's only proficient in all simple weapons and all simple light weapons.
Okay.
Or simple vibro, simple light weapons. Does the combination of the 2 classes give him access to martial light weapons?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, even Chris had to burn the feet in order to be able to wield the martial lightsaber that he has.
Okay. So,
I mean, simple lightsaber. Like I said, I'm not gonna utilize it because I would only get the base damage from the lightsaber. I wouldn't get any extra bonuses.
but you get your bonus to the force checks and all.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is the lightsaber essentially is going to be a tool for me to do other things,
Yeah.
whereas I'm not going to utilize the lightsaber itself because
UCT, Universal Cutting Tool.
this is basically what it's going to be.
Well, I
Which
can see.
hilt
I
are you
can see.
using?
I can see.
Huh?
Which hilt are you using?
Instead of using, because the wrist mounted is just a fixed blade, I mean, I would just go for the regular collapsible, at least in that way I don't have it just fixed to me. I can,
You have another collapsible
you know,
hilt?
I've had,
He
I've
has
had
a
it from the
collapsible
beginning.
hilt that also removes the 2-handed property.
Yeah.
Or was that the cell?
No, the collapsible lightweight stabilizer hilt. Hidden property loses 2-handed property.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you could make
Fucking pike.
Well, I have the actual freaking,
technically he could make a variation on a light club, which is a simple weapon that does 1d10.
a light club.
But a variation. It could still look like it could still look like a saber. It just
It's kind of awkward though.
I mean, you're never gonna use it.
I'm gonna ignite it and it's gonna have like a freaking fly swatter end to it. Like, fuck you.
Make a light tennis racket.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I would think of it as is those swords. Well, they're probably just mostly fantasy swords that are just a thicker blade.
I mean, that's the only way I would be able to see is if it was a thicker lightsaber blade.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be like the length and thickness of like a great saber or anything.
No, but it still could be a 110 damage versus a 1d6 damage. And because of the hilt, you could still wield it in one hand.
Yeah. But still, it's the thing. Do I want to sit there and do a 1d10 damage, or do I want to go ahead and use my rifle? I mean,
Oh yeah, the rifle is the. But if somebody closes in on you,
that's why I ended up picking the feats that allow me to break and gain range again on
But-
target.
it just it does more damage than the 1d6 basic lightsaber does.
What? No, the
The only simple light weapon that's two-handed is the light club, and it does 1d10 instead of 1d6 damage. It doesn't have. I mean, that's the only. And he's got a hilt that would make it one-handed. And that's technically a little bit better than a regular martial lightsaber. The only thing it doesn't have is that the lightsaber, 1d6 lightsaber, has the hidden property. Which I think
yeah, but
collapsible
his collapsible gives him the hidden property.
Making a light club would be the theoretically most statistically best way to go. And you could call it something else. What's Mandalorian word he could use?
For
Saber. Or, I don't know. It's all flavor. It's
I forgot to tell you about your thing.
You brought me a penny?
Cool.
just found something that you might have
Can you give me a
preferred.
penny?
It's called a light fist, but it's a martial. Huh?
You didn't see that on the weapon list?
No, it's a martial, so he wouldn't
He's
have been.
a sentinel. Can he use most all of the martial?
Oh yeah, you can,
I
can't
don't
you?
think he can. It's a specific list. Here, let me look at it. See why I like this one down there. The chakra, double blade, double saber, double shadow, double sword, hidden blade, light foil, light ring, saber whip, viber waver, viber raker, viber whip. So no, the light ring is on there, which is what he's using.
God, that'd be fucking OP as shit.
Yeah, because the light ring is finesse, hidden, luminous, returning, and thrown.
So, what do you want your lightsaber to look like?
Well, as I said, I'm not going to really utilize the lightsaber that much.
Yeah, but it's something that speaks to you. It's your character.
I mean, the original idea is I wanted to redesign a weapon that I could essentially like you mentioned too. Is I had thought about it as using like a Shoto style blade as like a fixed bayonet almost to a rifle of some kind, but I mean, because I utilize the rifle all the time, I don't really use melee weapons unless there's.
Yeah,
I have no blaster, but I'm usually like If I don't have my big gun, it's usually the side blaster. If I don't have that, I'm using a flamethrower. There's my vibro sword is like the last resort.
Yeah, I
kind
know.
of thing.
You're a walking arsenal.
Well, my whole thing is any melee weapon for me, I won't get any bonuses for it. So I'd rather use something that I'm going to do more damage with than pulling out here, I'm going to pull this sword out on you when I've got like a shit ton of weapons, you know, so that's why I was at one point talking to you about kind of doing an amalgamation of like a saber rifle mix, but every iteration of a lightsaber rifle has always been so freaking OP. You have the one that the librarian made. There's actually the other one that was created. It's called the Far Killer. Like I told you about, how it had a ridiculous freaking range on it, and I mean it's essentially a one-shot kill kind of rifle.
So I have a question. How would you feel? Damage isn't awesome on it, but I would absolutely see it as an absolutely intimidating thing to whip out on somebody. And I will forego the feat requirement to wield it. But because you have that hilt, you'd be able to one-hand this instead of two-hand it. But the Claymore Saber, its damage is 3d4.
What's the description of this weapon? Is it gonna be?
Well, because you have the collapsible, you can still stash it and hide it, or you can choose to have the thing exposed. I mean, the hilt for this thing would be massive if you had it fully extended.
It's not gonna be like a light pipe where the handle's.
No. It's just it's kind of like a massive hilt, like a two-handed claymore hilt, you know. And then when you activate the blade, it's like a frickin' 5.5 foot long blade, you know. But because you have the hilt that grants hidden, you would be able to collapse it down into a very, you know, pocketable piece.
Right. Because I like the idea of the wrist mount.
Requires dexterity 13 to wield it.
Oh, my dexterity is fast.
Right.
And the hilt and the power cell he's putting in knocks points off that dexterity.
Right.
See, like that was the one thing I was trying to think of, is because I know we were talking about before, you know, not having the rifle and saber utilize the same power source. So I wanted to combine them as two different things. That's why I was thinking of like the bayonet style. But I was wondering if it was possible to just use almost like an attachment to the bottom of the rifle, essentially to where, bless you. I was looking at different like
some variation on like gun blades.
Well, I was thinking.
But not.
I was
the
looking
gun
at,
being more prevalent than the blade.
right, but I was looking at the different rifles that they had in the Star Wars universe.
Ah!
Not
No.
something to where it's ridiculous. What?
I pulled the fucking image of the Claymore up and it showed me fucking something that looked like goddamn. Oh, here you go.
But the thing is, I would have to go a complete redesign on my. Well, that's kind of cool.
So that's what the hilt would look
Without
like
the
extended.
crossguard.
No, that's with the crossguard. And I would be even nicer enough to you to allow you to have the crossguard made of Beskar. So you would have less likely of a chance of somebody cutting the fucking crossguard off. But that would be the only part of your hilt that would be Beskar. Because you did have...
Right now,
you,
anyways.
huh?
Right now, anyways, you could get Beskar to put on the hilt.
Yeah. That's just one fucking...
That's the thing. Is like stuff that's like so ornate. It's hard to like have it hidden if it collapses. You know, it's like how does it collapse if it's got like?
Well, it doesn't have to be ornate. Is that you could have it perfectly round so that it like have you ever seen a toy lightsaber that you can just push the blade and
Right.
flat? Yeah, like
So this is what the hilt would look like with the lightsaber deactivated.
Yeah.
And the way you would be able to collapse that is instead of having the two balls on the end of it or whatever, you could have them at points. When you hit the button, they would slap down and then slide in. So the bottom portion of the hilt would be just a little bit thicker than the upper portion of it. But you'd be able to wield it from the upper portion of the hilt one-handed because of the hilt property. And it would slide down into the bottom portion of the hilt. So literally you're only looking at like a standard looking lightsaber hilt, you know?
Yeah, I don't need anything fancy if I'm not really going to be using it too much.
Yeah, true. But, you know, again, it's also an intimidation factor. You know, you fucking, no offense, man, an Inquisitor walks up, you know, rips your weapons out of your hand, you know, you're all disarmed except for your fucking claymore. He ignites its fucking lightsaber and all of a sudden you do this, and this tiny little thing floats up and you grab it, you flick it, and then this
I just picture him throwing it across the room, and there's this little piece of plastic that keeps getting bigger.
keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Crossguard comes out, lightsaber blade. Oh shit!
Well, that was another thing I thought would have been kind of funny too. Is if I have the wrist-mounted lightsaber, use that on the one arm, and flamethrower in the other. So I'm like,
well, you can't so
But,
the wrist-mounted saber. It's,
but that's the thing is it's fixed. It's fixed. I can't do anything except for have it mounted to my armor, and that's about it.
Make it like the hidden blade.
well,
I
see,
thought that would have been kind of cool, but that's too dark side.
it's too
I
dark.
thought it'd
Side.
be like Wolverine, that he'd come up with somebody and just hold it and because they're really
I
slowly.
mean, the only problem with the wrist blade,
How is that?
It's
How is the
limited
attack?
on
How's the hidden?
what
well,
I
it's
can
a
decide.
D4 damage.
Yeah, that's another thing. But the thing is like,
But
it's-
if you do go with the wrist blade, I would allow you to, because it's a fixed point, you'd be able to detach it from the wrist and attach it to the front end of the rifle as a bayonet.
how long is this blade for the wrist-mounted blade?
Since it's a D4, it's probably only about that long.
It's still long enough to cut through those doors.
Yeah.
Now, granted,
Shake someone's
that
hand.
claymore would be a universal cutting tool, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, could you imagine just like attaching yourself to the outside of a ship and going, you know, fuck these dudes? And besides, man, I look at Gatal and I don't think standard lightsaber or some like ninja type lightsaber. I see Gatal pulling a fucking claymore out of the fucking bag.
That's what I'm saying. Is if I had stuff like that, but my character is not utilized for the melee use.
No, but it would be you would wear something like that with pride though.
Where's my crystal?
It's
It's
a deep red.
It's a orange. It's a orange black.
Because there are certain places in the galaxy. If wearing your armor, you pull out a lightsaber that has a black blade,
Well,
there
yeah.
are people that are going to either kill you, bow down to you, or bow down to you and then try to stab you in the belly to get the blade.
I mean, for just the sakes of having one right now, let's go with this. I mean, there's always opportunities to come up with different things.
Yeah, you can always
Lightsaber.
modify the lightsaber. You
Yeah.
can build a new lightsaber, but just
What you do is you get a bowcaster and stick it underneath so it matches the bowcaster layout. So fire, and then you start flipping up and grab around the centers.
Well, that's one of the things I was talking about, doing a bayonet style like Shoto blade, so it comes out a little bit longer. Essentially, it would be like the rifle itself would be like almost like having a long like hilt, like Darth Maul's like double bladed lightsaber, but then have a shorter blade coming out of the end of it, but still utilize it as a under rifle mount, using it to shoot with. And then when I fight, I would hold the rifle's barrel and then have the handle here, and then the blade would come out here, and I would just utilize it as like a heavy, almost like a, I don't know, like a fucking
Like a light club.
like an axe or something. Swing it two-handed like an axe. but let's
That's
go.
the only thing I would see. I don't see a physical problem with making that weapon. I would see the thing you'd have to spend time learning how to fight with the weapon in that format. Now, like shooting is a gun, you're a master of that.
But I am, like you said, I am a master at all vibra weapons and all light weapons. Not or simple light weapons. But yes, let's go with just that right now.
The Claymore?
Yeah.
Alright.
Collapsible.
It's an anti-personnel mine.
As long as it'll be hidden and I can use it whenever I need it.
Alright, you ready to write some stuff down?
What am I writing now?
Oh, damn.
What?
Hurry before he gives you another option.
No. For,
Oh, the lighter rang.
The ladder ring.
Was that his
it's pretty dope looking.
No, I think lightsaber nunchucks are just a
Like chucks.
Ridiculous.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Especially since they're designed to hit off your shoulders and shit.
Well, that's just the one thing with like
You're good.
like
Because you only hit the handle on your
when they talked about like the light whip and everything. I was like,
There's the other variant of the chakram.
that would be like a horrible idea.
Yeah, a little nub.
The one above that looks like something Nightwing would use.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his Nighter.
Okay.
His Nighter
So
ring.
the light Claymore, these statistics are, normally it has a dexterity requirement of 13. You're putting that cell in there that makes it 11.
Yeah.
Which, that's real, that could be an issue. That it's luminous, it's a lightsaber.
So yeah, I'll have that and it gains.
The other important thing is it's a 3d4 damage plus your strength modifier. Like, granted, if you crit with it, then you're rolling 6d4. It's still only doing 6 damage, but
3d4 plus what?
plus your strength mod or your dex mod, whichever.
Or your dex,
Yeah,
because
it's-
Well,
at the
it
time.
switches over to finesse property.
Yeah.
yeah,
so
that's
you
what I'm
use
saying.
either.
So you use your dex
I mean,
mod.
it would matter. They're
Yeah,
both
they're
plus
both
5.
Yeah. Your strength is technically higher at a 21.
Right.
So, but it could be usable either way. So if you lost the gauntlets, you could still use the lightsaber just fine.
So. Alright, you ready for this?
And then you said the lens.
Are you still sitting in the corner?
What's that lens? you were
Shadow
talking
boxing. This is all taking place in an instant. I'm shadow
about? That
boxing.
lens you were talking about.
Nothing's
Okay.
changed.
So, well, build the lightsaber first.
Okay. We'll go ahead and put everything together.
Because this is going to be a power. You're going to have to make a card or something to this thing.
Yeah.
Testing it out on the.
I mean, if y'all want me to print, well, I can print more cards.
Bosnia.
Jab. Counter jab. No, what?
Bosnia.
Yeah. What?
Stop breaking the temple.
What?
Stop breaking the temple.
I'm not breaking shit. Throw. Bring it back right before it hits him.
Before it hits.
Now I'm breaking the temple.
Let me fail at my lightsaber crafting here. Let's do this. I fail at any other force. Shit. Alright.
I seal the door.
Force check.
Force check.
Just to set your meditative state.
Oh, look at that. A fucking 18 on the die. Was that using that force skill, right?
Yeah.
Plus 6.
Alright.
24.
So you step into there, you close your eyes, and you think about the type of weapon you want. Something that caters to who you are.
Something that will lead my people from darkness.
Something that
What?
that people could unite under. A banner, a call. Something imposing, intimidating.
Sounds mighty
You
dark.
could take our best scar, but you could never. Oh, sorry.
You can never take our farmland.
My
can take our
apologies.
planet, but we'll still kick your ass.
That's all you like, you fucks.
It's a claim
And-
word. It's Scottish.
As you breathe out and center yourself, the image of what you're looking to do starts to formulate and become real. And not under your own control, you feel your hands drifting down into the pouches and bags, pulling each part that would make this. And something that none of you guys knew he had on him, and even you didn't know you had on you.
Oh man.
Shit.
You never checked all 24 of your pouches in your Beskar.
I had
This
shit.
whole time.
I
He
had
had,
shit.
he had the dark saber on him the whole time.
You pull out
That would be fun.
a solid piece of Beskar, an ingot of Beskar, and set it down on the pedestal. Need another force check.
14 on the die, so 20.
So you breathe in and you breathe out slowly. And as you breathe out, you guys, well, I don't know if you're actually paying attention now or not. Oh, you are. It's a miracle.
I'm actually cutting through the stone, stealing the doorway.
Give the baby a new toy, and what does he do? Starts breaking everything around him with it. You sure you want him back on the ship? As Gatal breathes out, the force energy that leaves his body is different. It's darker in energy, but it doesn't feel nauseating. It doesn't feel negative. It's not black, or red, but it's just it's kind of an opaque energy that seeps out and starts to settle down upon the parts of your lightsaber. And as you breathe in again, all the parts lift up off of the pedestal and start rotating around. Again, it's even with your eyes closed, you can see these parts vividly. The screws, the bolts, the wires, all of it. Every scratch, every bend, every twist. I need you to give me an intelligence.
10.
Plus your int modifier.
10. That's 10 total.
Plus 3. So 13.
13.
So because you got full proficiency off of it. Okay. As the parts begin to move and combine and link into each other, some of it kind of gets a little shaky and falls out of place. I need you to give me another force check.
This word's
It's a trick. Don't
15.
put
Oh,
math
shit.
into symbols.
21.
21. You breathe back in and you breathe out again. And they can't see this, but you feel a bead of sweat begin to trickle down the side of your face.
I haven't been very good with the force stuff.
I need you to give me another artificer's check. So D20 int modifier.
13 on the die. And a 5.
That's a 20.
A 20. Oh,
Okay.
plus my 3, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Maybe 21.
yeah.
What's your int?
5.
So 21.
So 21. Okay. So as you breathe out and refocus yourself, the parts that had started to kind of like droop out of place spring back into the slots that they're supposed to be at. No droopy lightsaber. And they start combining together, and you know, screws going into the appropriate slots. The crystal, kind of oddly, instead of just like how Bosny's just kind of rotated in place, yours kind of just flips in place. And again, your crystal is cut very wildly, so it's almost, you almost get that feeling that you don't know how you're going to fit this crystal into the hilt, you know. And as it's all coming together, you have this bar, this ingot of Beskar at the very top that sets down on top of the on top across the hilt. And you breathe out, and it's almost like your breath produces this heat as the Beskar begins to warp and mold into this not ornate design or anything like that, but this very Mandalorian, straight-edged, has a purpose design, and a hole bores through the center. And it's not a clean boring. It has threads. It's a threaded boring, as though you had actually taken a threading tool to create this hole. And the emitter screws into place, and everything begins to tighten in and come together. And you're looking at this hilt that's like almost 2 feet long, with a crossguard that comes out almost as long as the hilt itself. It rotates, and you're looking at every part of it, memorizing every aspect of it, where the parts slide in when you activate its hidden property, how the hilt, or how the crossguard collapses down, and then the hilt slides in and creates this small, unobtrusive cylinder object. And everybody else sees this happen. You guys actually see the crossguard fold down, and it collapse into this what looks like a standard lightsaber hilt. Again, you're rotating around in the air. Your fingers are moving ever so slightly, studying it, understanding it, completing it. Give me another force check.
7 plus 6, it's 13.
13. All right. So you take in one more deep breath, and as you are letting it out, your breath is starting to come out a little shaky as the lightsaber hilt comes to a rest on the pedestal. Constitution saving throw.
20!
All right. So as you finish breathing out, you feel a wave of, not exhaustion, but
Upset stomach.
a wave of spent energy, like being tired, like a long run. After a long run, just wash over your body. You feel like you could take a nap, kind of tired.
I like that guy.
And as you open your eyes, and your HUD in your helmet springs back to life, you're staring at this small cylinder object sitting on the pedestal. heavy. It's got some heft
He's
to
the
it.
best guard.
It's
Just throw it at somebody.
yeah, you feel like you could probably throw it at somebody and knock them the fuck out with it. You know, it's heavy, so you
I'm gonna and ignite it.
so you wave it around, and as you do this and your wrist flicks out, the front end of the hilt springs forward. It almost kind of pulls your arm forward a little bit with that Beskar, slamming out, and the crossguard springs to life. And as the crossguard fully extends out, the blade erupts out, and it's like this almost 6 foot long, thick blade that erupts from the emitter at the end of your lightsaber, and it gives off this like dark orange glow, and as you look at the blade itself, you can see a solid black core running up the course of the blade.
I have why is he stabbing the ceiling?
He's just holding it up like he opened a chest.
Ah, my hand. That's good, but it won't hold forever.
Turn it off and
So you turn it off. The hilt stays the same. You know, it doesn't collapse back down.
how do you call this thing?
So you kind of look at it like, well, that didn't, and you, and when you flick your wrist hard enough, and it slaps back
You have
into
to
the.
shake it like a shake.
Dude, that would be so that I could see it go into combat and you pull it up. Give it a second. Give it a second.
I gotta roll my initiative.
And then it ignites. Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry, I should have noticed that. At least you weren't invisible on the camera.
You right. Give it a second. Give it a second. Oh god. There we go.
Oh,
Take it.
all right.
Work. That'll do, big.
That'll do.
That'll do.
So what do you do?
I'm just gonna walk out of the room and do a sigh.
Got a little dicey there for a second, huh?
I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. One for all for.
All right.
Throw him.
So
I'll catch him on my tube and put him right back. No, I threw my lightsabers with him, so you're.
I like the idea of when you flick it out. It's kind of like almost like the collapse of the tongues. You know.
It's like the lightsaber I have in my room. You hold down the thing, you go, and the lightsaber shoots out.
Yeah,
The old school fucking Star Wars Episode 1 toys.
One of those, yeah.
yeah, I can make that fucking thing sound badass, can't I? Props to the game master. You're all like, I don't know, and then you're like, wow, that's actually kind of dope.
It's gonna be more. It's funny though, because I'm just thinking of like the use of it. Like you said, it's gonna be more of like an
Intimidation factor. You pull out this little cylinder object. You don't want me to
I'm
extend
not gonna
it.
even like use it really. I think in combat, it's like I'm gonna go back to my people and be like, follow me and like ignite it and shit.
Here's your thing.
Holy shit!
Some smart ass in him. He's like, ha! I'm within 5 feet of you. You can't shoot me with your gun. He's like, no, I can't. He pulls the gun in his hand and turns on the 6 foot long lightsaber.
And as he activates, it just goes right to the guy's gut.
What the fuck, man?
So, oh, whoops! What did I do?
Oh shit!
You realize the saber's longer than my great sabers.
We'll turn it down a little bit. Turn
It's
it
like-
down.
Can you turn down the emitters a
The
little bit?
blade is as long as you are tall. And you're wielding that sucker one hand.
And it's a good thing it doesn't have any weight to it outside of the hilt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That makes it worse. Because you have to, that's why you have to practice with it, because the balance is like halfway through the hill, you know?
Yeah. So Chris looks at you, all three of you, nods his head. Different. Very different. But each one kinda speaks to who you are.
I hate when my lightsabers aren't talking to me.
Come, I have something to show you.
You don't have the soul of a child in this?
So he goes back
I'm
upstairs.
not going to answer that question. That might get too personal.
Twins. Basil, twins.
He goes back upstairs.
I actually have names for mine.
I had to make up for mine being, only one. I had to get them long.
Compensate for something. So he goes back upstairs. He's like, come, I have something to show you.
Holocron time.
Hopefully.
I thought that was above us. It's above us?
But yeah.
It's above you.
Well, it was until you stuck your lightsaber through the floor.
I found the way in, guys.
So you guys follow?
Yes.
All right. So as you guys go up into the up onto the previous floor, you now notice that there is a very heavy blue glow coming out of the library room, the archives room.
Poltergeist shit.
As he looks over his shoulder and kind of smiles, he goes, Osbadon and Kez managed to get the archives fully up and running again. Oz is currently downloading it onto a data pad, onto a couple of the data
Trying to
pads.
save it as a PDF.
But that's not the exciting part. And he walks into the room and goes all the way to the back.
That's what the holocron is.
And he turns around, and you notice that the door is still closed. The stone door is still closed. He goes, it didn't feel right opening this without you guys being here. And he reaches his hand out and he touches that barrier that you guys felt initially. And you feel him expend energy into the barrier, and it kind of like shimmers and then dissipates. And he steps up to the door and again places his hand against it, and you again feel that force energy flow out of him, and you hear the as the door slides open. And you see an assortment of glows, an assortment of colors emanating out of the room.
Alright, everybody get their ability to see what the lucky charms are.
I've got all the
Green
ones.
and yellow.
Heart stars and horseshoes, close and balloons, spots go
A ton of work into these things. All right.
Square, blues after.
The silver spheroid is not a thermal detonator in disguise.
I was actually worried like when I made.
Do you
the
guys
lightsaber-
enter the room?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
I was worried I was gonna come out of the lightsaber chamber and be like, "Hey guys, I'm just in front of that detonator."
He's like, kid laughs at,
Pull it
and
out.
he's like, what does this fucking lightsaber do? Well, this you should attach
So
to
you
your
guys-
pummel as the last
yeah.
second.
Step into the room, and there are 10 pedestals stretched out across the room. And
Yes.
on top of each pedestal is a uniquely shaped holocron, each one emanating a different color. Green and blue, yellow and red, purple and orange, silver and gold, and white and black.
So, which one are you here for, Chris?
I don't know. One of them holds the knowledge I seek, hopefully. all of them hold knowledge
Let's take them all.
that would be beneficial.
That would probably be, his idea is probably the best one.
To take them all?
Yes.
I agree. We will be removing all 10 of them. So, but I figured this is an important part for you all as much as it is important for me. So, as much as I was there to watch you build your lightsabers, you all should have been here to see this door opening. Knowledge that has not been seen in thousands of years is now being opened to the galaxy around us. Knowledge is dangerous. I'm not going to monopolize these holocrons. You know, yes, I want to study them all. Yes, I want to learn from them all. But each one of you will have the opportunity to study from one of these holocrons at any given time. But we should make haste and remove these back to the ship.
Alright. Walk in. Black and white one, silver and gold one, right?
Okay.
Backpack.
Alright.
Blue one, the other one, backpack. It should be all
He just walks down.
Make haste. Clear a path for me.
He's grabbing a whole bunch of them, like 2 at a time.
I got 2 hands.
Alright.
Should be all of them, right?
No, you picked up 6 of 10.
You got the green and the red and
Well, no, he grabbed the green and the blue, the white and the gold, the silver and the silver and the gold, the white and the black.
So there's yellow, red, purple, and orange left.
Yeah, there's
Yellow,
yellow,
red.
I'll grab them.
Purple and orange.
I grabbed it. He's taking them all. He's like, "Fuck you guys."
It's just I'm the quick. You said make haste. Double
Quick,
dash back
kill
to the
him.
ship. I'm the fastest mover.
Take them
Alright.
all.
So, this here is where we're going to end this session.
Right.
Go ahead and level up one more level. Congratulations, you guys have completed the custom module for the new era.
That's the end of it.
It's the end of the module, yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
we
the end of the
beat the
game.
campaign.
We beat it.
Yes.
It's not the end of the campaign.
We beat the game.
Eritrea starts next week. What? You need these?
I don't care which order you give them to me in.
We're not coming back to this place.
Not for a while, at least.
Don't shoot.
Uh-oh. Ball sack.
What happened?
I don't have to hurry.
I don't
Knocked
know.
over a drink.
Foul.
Yeah,
It's a little.
it's not a...
Here, use my sock.
No.
What?
I just go get...
Look at that. Step on it. Wipe it around. Go ahead. Touch my sock. Yeah. Uh-huh. Touch it some more.
Jeff, how could you touch his happy sock like that?
Foot is now defiled. You're gonna need to run some water over that. It's gonna be sticky. And because of the cake.
Thank you, Tim.
It's gonna be sticky. And because of
Alright, so, and this thus ends another Star Wars session. Thoughts?
Oh, that was
I don't know. Do you want ants? That's how you get ants.
Is that your thought for the night?
It is now.
What'd you think, Tim? Good? Bad?
Yeah, it's
Ugly? It was fine.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
And she trips and falls off the balcony. And falls off the top of the building.
I had an adequate time.
I trip her. Oh God, she didn't go off the building, did she? I don't know, Jeff. Let's roll to find out.
I didn't care.
You're still of the opinion and mindset.
What do you
that
mean the
she's-
opinion?
that she's the Emperor's daughter?
You mean the fact? I
Yeah,
love
we
the fact.
caught her. We never interrogated her or anything. We just
Well, she's
Well,
still
never-
unconscious.
Left
Is
her
she?
with Kaz and
She should have woken up by now.
ended up there.
All right. So, Brian, what'd you think?
I actually enjoyed it because it had a little bit of a.
Wow, for once, huh?
No, I mean I always enjoy it, but I mean the ending for me, because going in, I had a different idea of what I wanted to do. Something that, you know, I had just a different idea, but the way it ended for the construction of the lightsabers was actually really cool because I went into it thinking I'm not really going to utilize the lightsabers really for much of anything.
Right.
But now, with the description of what I have and, you know, the imposing force that it has, you know, just the visually that it has to it,
Right.
it, to me, it's not a weapon anymore. It's a symbol of something else. So, I mean, granted, all lightsabers to all Jedis are a symbol, but to me, it's kind of like the whole Darksaber thing. You know,
Right.
it's a show of power that they are the rightful leader of the Mandalorian. You know, whoever holds the Darksaber.
I'm holding 2 lightsabers. Am I double leader Mandalorian?
No. But the fact that, like, for the Mandalorian
Yes.
clan, that the lightsaber is not just a weapon; it's a symbol of leadership. And for me, having something that kind of almost essentially like rivals like a Darksaber, like in appearance, like the opposed. Because I mean, let's face it, Darksaber is like nothing any other Jedi has ever seen or built or anything like that. So it has just that overall different appearance to it, which makes it unique.
Now, what I see is in 100 years, it's all barely still wearing the frickin' heavy Mandalorian armor with a walker, coming over to the rock and says, "My clan shall be ruled by whoever pulls the sword from the stone." Jams it in, lets it go, falls on the ground. The little kid walks up, "Hey! Hey, thanks, Granddad. Or great granddad." Which way?
I mean, you understand what
Yeah,
Yeah,
your point's
absolutely.
great.
Like I said, there may be a few times where I utilize it in combat, but I'm not a melee character, so I'm not going to be whipping it out every time there's a combat.
God, I hope you don't whip it out every time. God, man, that just get really awkward.
No, it's the people right. Close the blast doors. Yes, we're away from the Mandalorian. Oh, hell, guys.
Thanks, guys. I really wanted to use this. I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
That's basically what I'm gonna be like, oh god, I get to use it now.
It's like,
What is that gray light coming through the door?
I mean, it's
orange.
yeah, it's orange.
but I mean, that's kind of how I view it now. It's not a.
It's
weapon.
more than just a weapon. It's and you know that's kind of one of the points I was trying to impress upon you guys when y'all were building it. You know, it's that your lightsaber, as much of a weapon as it is, especially for Jedi, it's more than just a weapon, though. It is an identification of who you are.
Right.
Anakin, this lightsaber is your life.
Don't lose it. I'm sorry, Master. I think I dropped my lightsaber again. Yes, you did.
Oh, the weapons of Obi-Wan and Anakin. Anakin, how did he get? How did Grievous get your lightsaber?
But I think in a way though, being the fact that I am a Mandalorian wielding a lightsaber, it's kind of a different feeling than when a Jedi gets their lightsaber. In a sense.
Maybe a little bit.
I mean, it can be. I can't speak for every individual that has a lightsaber, but the idea behind it is, it just feels.
Excuse you.
I don't know. I'm just talking on my.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I'm happy that you're excited about this, man. That's to me, one of the best feelings as a game master is when a player walks away from the table and they're like, dude, that was just like I wasn't looking forward to this. Like, I was looking forward to the story of it, but I wasn't really, it didn't really matter to my character. And now you're like, but now, oh my God, like, I have just been given something that I had no idea I could utilize in so many ways.
I just like the idea of being able to ignite that shield and fucking turn on the fucking lightsaber, full decked out armor. I feel like a fucking medieval knight right now.
It's one of the other reasons why I went with the Claymore for you. So,
The one-handed 6 foot.
I know, right? Jeff, thoughts?
Yeah, I like.
I still have
Hey.
I still have no damage output that you guys
Gotta
have.
break
with
the
them,
table
but-
down.
No, I thought that was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought we were gonna be stuck on our Shadaf.
So, did you like the cameo appearances, guys?
Oh, the bounty hunters.
Bosk.
Yeah.
When you were like, told me, well, this character looks like so and so, and I was like, motherfucker, don't tell me we got like all of them after us.
No, IG-88 was not on the planet.
I was just saying, man, like,
It was literally just Bosk, Tusuk,
Which-
and
The problem is what you set up is
Four.
on the bridge because the executor isn't finished yet.
yeah.
Is on the bridge of a regular Star Destroyer. The line of bounty hunters is like, okay, we're looking for this man. You're facing your helmet up there.
Well, the thing was too is like, now granted, I love Star Wars and I like the bounty hunters. I don't know every character's name. I know a lot of their backstories. I know certain things about the characters' backstories. But that's why when he's like, oh hey, by the way, you also see this guy, and I was like, that motherfucker has a fucking partner. Too. I know he's got a fucking partner. I was like, do I see this guy too? And you're just like,
I was like, God damn it.
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, Jeff, thank you for coming again, man. Again, another session ended. I think it was a really, really good one. A lot of RP elements here tonight. It's not something we get to do very often with the heavy RP aspect of it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. I thought my players did a very good job accomplishing the goals that they had set before them. So yeah, for those that watched, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the comments. Shout out to Ryan DV. Thanks for the follow. Pando Player BR. Thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. Working on getting my viewer count back up to get reaffiliated on this account. In it for the long haul. Join me tomorrow night for our weekly ARMA match. If you guys are interested in what we do in ARMA, tune in to either my stream at Rat's Nest Gaming or Rat's Nest Games, and Goliath, the head of the BPS group, at Goliath 0117. Both of us will be streaming if we're so long as we're both on. Yeah, come hang out, come talk shit, enjoy the time. Y'all have a wonderful night.